Welcome, fight fans,
to the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass Podcast.
Your Fight Talk Authority.
Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard ORTIZ.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo.
Streaming live and worldwide.
Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Voice
Kick-Ass Podcast.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios. I'm your host, Richard ORTIZ of the Fighters Voice Kick-Ass Podcast. Alongside of me is the co-host with the most, the UFC veteran himself, Mr. Cole Escovedo. What's happening, Cole?
What's good, amigo? How's the knee? I see the bandages off.
The bandages are off. It's the healing process. I made it up the stairs pretty good.
No walker either.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't even use the crutch either.
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
The cane.
Yeah.
Going up the walker.
Progress.
Yeah, the first couple steps were kind of tight, and then it's just like, okay, kind of got a little rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once you find your kind of like your compensation walk for it,
yeah,
it's easier.
Yeah. No, ready to move forward. It's just sometimes those evenings are pretty
when it gets a little cold,
intense. Yeah.
Or you maybe you sit on the couch for a little too long, and then you got to stand up and stretch it out.
Well, yeah, even here, see the fans, they don't know exactly what's went on. 1 week out, man, I made it up them steps because it just has to get done. You know what? I started thinking about that today.
I can hear your doctor shaking his head right now. Your
Oh,
physical
he doesn't know.
therapist just shaking his head.
He doesn't know. And remember, we had the mayor of Fresno on.
Yeah, Autry.
Yeah, that was one day out of the hospital. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to cancel.
Yeah,
because the election was starting and what have you. But, hey, the things we do, man, for the fans.
Hey,
there's a show. It must go on.
Got to get it done. That's why I thought when you text me, you were like, I'm stuck at the tracks. And then you text me, guys. Like, I looked in my head. I'm like, this is going to be Rich saying, just start. Fuck this train, just start.
I was pretty close to doing that. And I said, you know what? Okay, we're going to head down and then head up. And then we made it here.
Yeah, and I told KP, I was like, it's going to be let's give it a couple minutes. And then we'll probably get a text.
I started thinking about the whole format. I was thinking, okay, if I limp this way, there's too much equipment. This way, I'm just going to come in and, yeah. But nevertheless, we made it, man.
Smooth entry, man.
So we got UFC this weekend, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've got Khabib and Gaethje is what we have.
No, I want to ask you that. I mean, because in the boxing world, it's just been very instrumental this month of October. Do you think at all in the MMA world this big fight got overlooked or kind of in the shadow?
No, because in the sense you got to figure your boxing fans that are going to really be focusing on those variety of fights that have been giving out.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily translate, I think, into your regular basic MMA fan who's going to sit there and want to watch it and go, oh man, Hooker and Donaldson, Canelo, this, and the Chalep. No, if you're a boxing fan, yes. Yeah. If you're a boxing fan, 100%, I think the Khabib and Gaethje fight missed you. Just because I don't think they were promoting it very hard. I think if you were really only an MMA fan, you would only know about it because it's really not a big card.
No,
like if you look at the rest of the card, it's not a big card.
Some more hype to this. I mean, it's a big fight.
I did. I mean, I know Khabib's quiet, but this was super quiet.
And I started thinking, is it next month? I mean, is something going wrong? Because actually, PVC, their card was originally supposed to be this Saturday. They moved it back a week. Because going head to head with UFC,
and I imagine
with any big platform, it's never a good idea to do so. But
smart.
And taking it back another week on Halloween, not only is it going to be in Texas, but you're going to have a live crowd there.
No, okay, so that should be
it was a win-win for everybody.
That was probably a play into their calculations too. That we can kill two birds with one stone. Yeah. We could just wait, and if we wait, we'll have an audience. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and they sold tickets there, so
And the worst that happens is the governor in that state or whatever reverts and something happens. They're like, oh, okay, sorry, we'll refund your tickets. They could still do their stream to show plans. So I like that. But yeah, I think, and even with your regular MMA fan, I think it might have missed a little just because they're not hyping it. But I think even as a casual MMA fan,
I mean, all I see is, and we'll jump right into it, before we bring our guest on, is the main event.
I know, and that's what I was looking at it this afternoon, and I was like, dude, there's not a bunch of household names that are just, like I said, this is just the Khabib Gaethje fight. That's all this is.
Exactly.
They want Khabib. I think there's almost like when's the last time he fought? He fought, was it Conor the last guy he fought?
Yeah.
Yeah, Conor was the last guy he fought. And then, you got to figure that was almost a year, well over a year ago. Yeah. So they're probably pushing up on that time frame area of all right, well, we got to get him a fight before the year's out. It's got to get done kind of thing. We don't want to put him in a position to where he's not defending.
In business is business, it's going to be the first time going into a fight in his whole life, he's not going to hear his father's voice at all.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, if I had to bet on that fight, I would have picked Khabib had his dad been alive. But I'm because of that soul, and God, don't tear me up on the internet. Don't tear me up, internet.
Oh, you're gonna get eaten up, man.
I think it's just the fact that
he's a big piece of the puzzle. He's a big piece of where Khabib's here today.
Yeah,
and why he's world champion.
It's like you can lose your coach, you can lose your dad, and be a champion fighter still. You can lose one or the other, and if you're mentally tough, you can make it through because you've still got a support system.
Yeah.
But dude, when your dad is your coach.
Yeah.
And he's been a fundamental piece of the puzzle, like you said, getting to 28-0 against fucking killers.
Not only that, just the principle he teaches you about life, about being a man.
Being a champion, how to carry yourself as one. Like that's like dad teaching you how to be a man is one thing. Dad teaching you how to be a man and carry with you the criteria of that title of being, the UFC, lightweight champion of the world. Like that's it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So to have him doing that and not be there for that, I don't know, dude. I know people be like, "Oh, I heard he had a great camp. I don't know." I'm just talking about the mental preparation.
He had the best camp that he can have possible without having his father there. That's all. That's what that is.
The only other fight that there's a couple. There's like Lauren Murphy. She's been kind of been doing stuff. Ankalev's going to get another rematch with Kupadella. We've been waiting on that because that fight ended real.
And again,
unless
early. You're a UFC fan or unless you just love MMA, period, those names aren't familiar.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know who they are.
The Kutalaba fight will definitely pass you by. Because it was a fight that was over in the first round and it was a real mismatch ending. Like, what the fuck was the ref doing there? Like, you could tell the guy was goofing. He was baiting. He was drawing him in. That's a real gamble. Like, that's letting it go to the judges. Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So it could file over, but you've got Whitaker. Whitaker, that's who's fighting.
Yeah,
Whitaker's fighting Canada.
That's a good name, and that's going to be a good card because he's now active. Now, before we pull the curtain back and find out who's behind the curtain, Wizard of Oz type style, let's talk about last Saturday's fights with UFC, and tonight's guest who's going to be joining us. I guess we can bring him on before, and we can get his take on the fights as well. He's in the win column. I know he went on social media, and every fighter, they know what they put into their camp, and everybody wants more than what's given to him. When I say that, he's a perfectionist. He works so darn hard. He wants nothing but perfection. I had a personal talk with him, and it said, "Brother, you were on national TV, ESPN Sports. They were talking about you." The only thing I've ever seen close to that with a person not tapping that way was Royce Gracie when he fought. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name again. That's not good when I forget his name.
You're thinking of Kazushi Sakuraba and I want to say Henzo or something.
No. It was Royce Gracie when he made his comeback against Matt Hughes. Before Matt Hughes started hitting that head, crushing it like a watermelon, he had him in the same armbar.
Yeah, he did the same thing to GSP too.
And he wouldn't tap.
Yeah.
And if you look at Al's fight, my gosh, I mean, alone.
Like I said in the past, I've said there's some guys that are just like, I'm one of them. Like, go ahead and break it. Like Bruce Lee almost broke my arm. Like Herb Dean thought for sure he was going to break it. It's like, well, what's the worst that happens? You break my arm. And then a lot of people are like, well, you can have permanent ligament damage. You can have permanent this. You can have permanent that. You could, fucking dude could run a red light and kill me while I'm going through a green light.
I'm hearing you. Let's bring him on. I want to find out exactly what he's thinking, man. I want to hear from the man himself.
Hello.
BigAl Gonzales, how we doing, my man? Rich Ortiz here, the fighter's voice, man, along with ESCOVEDO.
What's up?
Hey, man, what's good, my man? First of all, thanks. Okay. Well, right on. Well, first of all, thanks for coming on the show, and congratulations on your victory, man. Me and Cole, we went ahead and we jumped the gun a little bit. We were talking about how you were in a position where the average man, the average human being would have called it quits simply by tapping, and there would have been no harm, no foul in that, be smart and fight another day. But in your case, your position, you refuse to just give in. You refuse to go along with the average person. But then again, Al, you're not the average person, man. I don't want to get too in depth, man, but break down your fight that took place last Thursday.
It damn sure didn't go the way I planned.
And Al, I want to know. Okay, why didn't it? You got the W, and you showed a lot of like I put on your Instagram.
Bro, I spaced out, man. I had so much different emotions going on, and my first time ever being on a plane and being out of town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fuck, bro. Right before I went down there and I fought, I just remember having a lot of emotions in my hotel room, and I was just being real grateful and thankful that I'm in the position that I am in. And when I went in there, bro, it all happened hella fast, and yeah, I froze up, and I ended up paying the price for it, but it was damn sure a well lesson learned, and it ain't gonna damn sure ain't gonna stop me. I'm out here outside of a school right now. I'm about to hit the stadium right now. About to get in, man. Hard work, baby. Hard work. Can't stop. Won't stop. This is my passion, and fuck, man. Even if I were to go back, even if that dude broke my arm, if I were to go back in that same scenario, I can't fucking stop. I can't quit. I can't give. I didn't get on. I didn't sign up to quit. And no disrespect to any other fighters who tapped before me, and maybe I should have, because my fucking arms hella swollen and it hurts. But I can't stop what's in me.
Is it still? It's still swollen.
Fuck yeah, it's hella purple.
Have you gotten it looked at yet? You might have tore some ligaments, man.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go check it out for sure.
You definitely need to get.
But that was gonna be my take. I was gonna say, Cole, listen to that. That is a fighter.
I broke my leg, bro. I did the whole therapy myself. I didn't go get to physical therapy one time for my leg injury.
Wow.
I imagine Bellator would be down to help you get your arm looked at.
Yeah.
No, for sure. No, hey, Bellator's help, man. They're a good ass company, man. They looked out for me. When I was in the hospital getting my arm checked out, they're texting me, they're showing me love, man. They're asking how I was doing. They're happy. I'm not happy about it, but they're happy. So
yeah, you put on a good performance for them. That's like I said, man.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
They're acknowledging the fact that I just started my professional career, so I was happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they see in you, Al? They see a tough son of a bitch. First with the leg, and now with the arm. I mean, they're thinking to themselves, you got to go with what the public and the fans are giving you. Embrace what it is, and that's a tough ass dude, man. I mean,
yeah, for sure, man. I just had so much shit going. I just kept thinking, man, these motherfuckers counting me out, man. These motherfuckers think that I can't fight. I can't come in here and do my thing because of my last fight, my injury, and so many. So it didn't really get to me that certain night, but just so much shit that just was going on, and I wanted to prove everybody wrong. And when I went in there, I was just happy that I was there. I didn't have my fucking thinking cap on straight, and I ended up homeboy fucking packed his lunch and gave me a good ass whooping. I took that shit and got the dub. Hey, but like 45 seconds before the end of the second round. This is how I won. I won because I told him that I wasn't gonna quit. And he asked me while we were grappling on the floor, like 45 seconds before the end of the second round. He asked me, he double questioned me. He told me, what'd you say? And then we were grappling and we were on the floor. Then he tells me, what did you say? And then I told him, I looked at him in his eyes and I told him, I'm not giving up, motherfucker. And then at the end of the second round, we went and sat down, and homeboy threw the towel in.
Well, you kicked his ass literally. I mean, he didn't have enough. He didn't have enough to put you away.
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, you were the one standing. Hurt arm or what have you. Maybe you couldn't get your combinations off, man. But nobody's questioning your heart or your desire or your passion, man. And I put on there, you have more heart than Valentine's Day. And I truly mean that, man.
Yeah, that's it, brother. I appreciate that.
Cole, you're listening to this, man, and your head's just spinning, man. First of all, you're still tripping that he didn't go get to one rehab appointment, and we're talking about a leg that was once upon a time shattered.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he's got a good ability to have Bellator take care of him.
Yeah,
like he definitely. He's in a very lucky position. He can have Bellator. Like they looked at it that night. Like if they didn't say anything was wrong that night, really, they're probably not too concerned. It's probably just going to be swollen for a good week or so. But damn, that's definitely something I would.
What do you think Bellator is saying right now? I mean, they see two tough fights, and they see this kid just like, my gosh.
Well, they're like I said, they're definitely. Would they give you like a 3-fight deal after that the Sacramento fight?
I got 2 more fights with them.
Yeah, so
I don't know when they're gonna line me up. I don't know. what I plan on doing is showing them that I'm gonna start traveling. I'm gonna start getting out. I'm gonna be training with a lot of different people. My manager, JT, big shout out to my manager. He's gonna have me team up with some guys at AKA, so I'll be training over there pretty soon.
Okay,
I got
good.
other few places in mind that I want to go try out, and I'm gonna throw myself in the fire, man, with some bad motherfuckers that I have in mind, and I want to get better and level up on my game, because I'm very disappointed in my performance, but I can't keep getting down on myself. So right now I'm about to kill myself in a workout.
Yeah, it's not, remember, it's not so much about getting down on yourself as it is being objective and looking at the fight is, what did I do wrong? What needs improvement? Being realistic. I think a lot of people will go back and look at their fights, even the ones they won. They'll go back and look at their fights and be like, oh, my striking was on point. I did this, I did that. Instead, you need to, every fighter, even with a win, should be looking at their fight and going, what did I fuck up? And he's already kind of viewing it that way. Yeah, and he's already taken a look at it and realizing, okay, there's room to grow. He's going to go get some good training up at AKA. Like, just going to AKA alone will, because at the end of the day, no matter how good Al is, when he goes to AKA, he's going to be on the bottom of the totem pole. So he's got he's being given so much room to grow.
There's nothing but world champions.
Exactly.
There. Global world champions.
Exactly. So he's being given an opportunity to, like he said, upgrade himself, and he's being put in that position.
Hey, the Bellator, man, they show me a lot of love, man. They show all the fighters love me. Big shout out to them, and yeah, man, they're looking out for me. They send me all their medical and insurance information. So whatever kind of medical attention I need for my arm, they got it covered.
Well, yeah, they want to take care of their investment. You're an investment now.
Exactly.
Man. Like, you're literally an investment now. It's like somebody bought a car and they're putting polish on it so the paint stays good and not faded. They're getting, leather protecting.
But Albert got to get there, man. I mean, we're talking about a gym rat.
Sure.
I mean, that's why it's there. Go get your arm looked at, man, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. I mean, but, you're out there working. That's never in question. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Cole, but I wanted to enlighten on this. I saw you fight in Fresno, California. Beautiful performance, Combate Americas, which Mike Aframowitz praises your performance. And I talked to you backstage, and you're like, Richie, we could have done better. And I'm like thinking, dude, you got a knockout, you got a stoppage. How much better do you want? Because you've always been hard on yourself. Is that the norm, Cole? Is that the right attitude for a fighter, such a fighter as young and hungry as Al?
Unfortunately, no. Like I said, you get a lot of these guys that I was talking with Marcial earlier about this on Facebook. You get a lot of guys that are almost entitled when it comes to their coaches, like, oh, hold the pads like this and do this. And they're like, dude, fuck off, dude. Like, he's the pad holder. He's the coach. Like, that's it. End of fucking story. There's other coaches if you don't like the way he's doing things. So you do get a lot of fighters that, even these young ones, they'll take a win and they'll act like it was the end-all be-all. Like, yeah, I fucking owned him from step one.
No, what I'm saying is he was hard on himself.
Oh, and they won't be. That's what I'm saying. They won't critique themselves.
But Al, even after he won, was still hard on himself.
Yeah.
So when I'm hearing him today.
It's a strength of mine.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Sometimes
it is a rarity.
I overdo it, but sometimes I feel like it's my strength. Like,
I think it works for you.
There's no such thing as over critiquing yourself when it comes to this game, dude. Trust me, because every
trust
little
me,
thing,
man. It's a compliment.
Like, I really want to be fucking great. I really want to be one. Like, maybe not right now. So if somebody were to judge me, they'll be judging me prematurely, because in fucking 7 years from now, I want to fucking shine, man. I want to be doing my thing and bringing the whole town, the whole city, fucking, yeah, man.
But yeah,
I got a big dream.
If you want to get there, don't ever let anybody tell you you're over critiquing yourself. Never, because your punch can always be better. It can always be stronger. It can always be faster.
Yeah.
It can always be more accurate. Your setups can always be cleaner, smoother, more elusive. Like, don't let anybody go, oh, did you over critique yourself? Fuck off. Get out of my camp. If you have people telling you that you're over critiquing yourself, then those are the wrong people around you.
You need to get them out of your bubble.
Yeah, you need to be as uncomfortable as possible every time you're training. Every time you train.
Very well said.
My next training camp, my next fight is definitely going to be completely different. I know everything that I need to change up. I know I've went over it, and yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be different. I thought that was my time to shine. I really did. I felt it in my heart. I thought it was my time, and unfortunately it wasn't. God has a plan for me, and whatever happened, that was His will.
You know, I mean, it wasn't as dominant of a win as I think you would have gone out there and wanted to have, but you got like you said, you had a lot working against you. This is the first time you're going to have a fight that's going to be being streamed like this. It's the first time you're going to be fighting with all this pressure on you from the promoters. So yeah, first time you've been on a fucking plane. I mean, you've got a lot of things that are working against you, but just as long as you realize what you've already realized, like you know what you got to go out there and do. You realize that there's always room for improvement. You realize it wasn't the way you wanted to do it, which instead of just realizing why it didn't happen the way you wanted to do it, make sure you go back and do the pieces of the puzzle. Why didn't it work the way you wanted to? What exactly went wrong? It's not that you didn't train. You trained. It's not like you didn't train, so it's not that. It's maybe, the mental training part of it. Maybe it's, you need to be more confident in your technique or cardio or whatever. But as long as you're critiquing yourself in the sense of being objective, knowing realistic goals. And that's what you seem to already be doing anyway. So like I said, it's a young when you get in younger fighters, they don't critique themselves as much as they should be. They listen to the dudes patting them on the back saying, "Oh, dude, you fucking owned him." Well, sit back and look at it. Did you own him? Or things like that. Like, you have to be realistic. And as long as you are always realistic with your performances, even with a win, you'll always be able to get better because you'll always want to get better. You'll be like, oh, I could have done that better. I could have knocked him out in the first round. Why didn't I? Shit like that. So he's got the right mentality. No, it's a rarity.
Excuse me. He does. He's that one fighter, that one athlete. When other coaches look at who's available, there's always that one that stands out in the sense. There's something about this kid. I don't know what exactly it is. It's not today, but it's definitely on the way to happen tomorrow. And tomorrow's a new day, my man.
That's right.
So what?
Hey, man, I highly appreciate both of you guys, man. For real, from the bottom of my heart, you guys reached out to me before the fight, during my camp. You guys. After the fight, man, you guys always been in my corner, and I appreciate you guys.
I mean, we don't
Thumbs
know.
up for the Fighters Voice.
That's right, all day.
So you just fought what? Let's see, it's October, so November, December. You gonna try to fight in January, or see if they got any slots open before the end of the year?
Man, as soon as my arms gets better and starts, I've been icing it every day.
Did they give you a suspension?
I've been shadowboxing. I just don't want to put no pressure. I went to go train with my coach today, but I didn't want to put no pressure. I didn't put no gloves on. I don't want to put no pressure on my arm.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be moving the joint.
Man, I'm fucking ready to go. If they would tell me to fight in 3 months, I'm ready to go. And the reason why I say 3 months is not everybody's lucky to get a fight like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you notice how he's already working out?
It sounds good to me. If they line me up around then, man, I'll be highly grateful for it. And they're watching me right now, and I know this. They're looking at my stuff, so I know that if they see that my improvement, and if I'm out there training in AKA where Bellator is based at, that's where that's where their main office is at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean. And if they see me out there training with some bad dudes, that they know, you know what I mean. They know that that's a high level gym, AKA, and they already gave me the invite. So man, I got high hopes for my future, and I just got to keep my head up and keep learning from everything that didn't go the way I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he's hitting stadiums not less than a week after.
With one arm.
Yeah, shows that he understands where he wants to go and what's needed. He's got, so his mentality, for those watching that maybe don't understand the fighter's mindset. They don't understand the athlete's mindset. So you've got a plethora of sports that you can compare this mindset to. You've got Kobe, you've got LeBron, you've got Bo Jackson, you've got Joe Montana, you've got fucking, even for those that don't like him, Brady. You've got all these different athletes who have the same mentality of, where did you see Jordan, LeBron? Where did you see those guys in between seasons?
The Mamba mentality to become the best version of oneself.
Like, do you think Kobe was sitting on a yacht in between seasons? Fuck no, dude. He was hitting the fucking courts.
Kobe missed a game-winner shot his rookie year and went to a park and started shooting all damn night.
Yeah. Until he felt that he had corrected that problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Jordan said I failed over and over and over and over again. That's how I succeeded.
Yeah. You only have to hit it once.
You know, right now as we're talking, his coach is probably going to like a hardware store or something and actually changing the locks. He probably has to kick Al out of the damn gym and says, "My man, you are not wanted here right now because you gotta rest
you gotta
up."
at least sleep,
For
dude.
real, man. I always get that from my coaches, from everybody who's around me. They always tell me, dude, you need a rest, bro. Get some rest.
So you,
Get
like,
some sleep.
you just gotta remember.
Anybody who knows me, if they seen that in my last fight, bro, I look skinny as shit. That was my first time ever dropping a welterweight. I've always been a 185er.
Mhm.
That was my first time dropping a 170, and the way I did it, I didn't do it right. And I know my body more, and I'm gonna do it different this next time.
There you
I'm
go.
not gonna listen to nobody but myself because it's my body, and
Yep.
So
and,
now,
things are gonna be different. And yeah,
what was the method
I
you used?
appreciate you guys. I'm gonna cut it a little bit short. I'm gonna get some hard work in.
Hey, all right. Well, hey, when you're done with that workout later, hit me up because I wanted to talk to you about that weight cutting process and a couple other
Yes,
things.
sir.
So hit me up later,
Yes,
okay?
sir, for sure. And then if I give an appreciation, a shout out to my coach Manny Mata, my other coach Archie Tobar. I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors, J Jackson Productions, All Around Commercial Flooring, Iron Bullies, and Screening and Cleaning. And a big thumbs up to the Fighter's Voice.
I appreciate that, man. Big time, big time. Hey, when,
Yes, sir.
when we go back to the norm, I want to have you and Macha in studio. And
Hell
we
yeah,
can sit
sounds
down
good.
and have an in-house show. But yeah, make sure you reach out to Cole because I spoke to you a little bit about that weight cut, and I also advise you talk to Cole. He'll line you up with the right formulas and what have you.
For sure. And yeah, matter of fact, I'm lining up with a nutritionist. I'm
There you go.
I'm on the hunt right now to get one, and one just reached out to me, so I'm about to be we're gonna do a Zoom meeting, and we're gonna talk. Yeah, I'm gonna be having a nutritionist for my next fight. And
Make sure
things are
you-
gonna be a lot different for sure.
Make sure you put something out on social media that you're looking for one and talk to
Yeah.
a couple. Get different advice.
Definitely.
Make sure,
I was just thinking about that too. Yep.
because they got to know
I need to do it.
why are you trying to cut weight? What are you cutting weight for? What are the reasons? Do you need strength? Do you need it? Like, you have to tell them why they're doing it. Because if they try to cut your weight for like bodybuilding, it's gonna fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You need to let them know I'm a fighter. I have 8 weeks. Here's where I want to start at. Here's what I want to be by this date. And this is the strength and cardio I need to retain, so they can come up with a diet plan that meets those needs. So get some advice from multiple
for real, man, 'cause I didn't
nutritionists.
have no fucking energy in this fight, man. I should have been dirty boxing that dude, and my hats off to that guy, though, man. Even if that dude's hearing this, that motherfucker came to fight.
I mean, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's all to him.
Anytime you push a dude to the point to where he goes, fuck it, then that means you just you broke his will. Like, it's just all there is to it.
There was nothing more he can do. I mean, the lock was in,
Throw the fucking kitchen sink at you is what he did.
and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, when you do everything you
I
can,
told him, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up.
do everything you can, and the guy's not going to quit. What do you do?
Here's the thing, and before I'm going to let you go so you can hit them stadiums, man. He went to try to break your will offensively, and you broke his will just mentally. I mean, you just shattered his will completely, and supposedly he was the one in charge.
Too much, bro. And then in that hotel room, man, I'm starting to think about being in the cell when I was locked up on my way to prison. I was thinking when I got stabbed, I was thinking the 9 times I've been shot. Man, God has a plan for me, man. God is good.
Yeah.
And I'm put on this earth to inspire others and hustle and motivate. And I'm gonna get this stadium workout right now, and I appreciate you guys. Man.
Hey, real quick, Al, and I'll let you go, man. How did you feel being on national TV? On the hottest
Man.
sports broadcast in the world, and we're talking about ESPN, who is in China, Japan, Australia, global, and they recognize your heart and your will and your desire.
Bro, it brings emotions to me. It brings a lot of emotions to me, man. The road I came down in, yeah, man. Like I said, God is good.
Okay.
It's I can't even have a word for it, man. God is good.
There you go, brother.
It's appreciation is what I could call that. What he has is he has pure, just unadulterated
Yeah.
appreciation for the position he's in, and he realizes that he's lucky to be here, and he's doing.
Yeah, he's not
he's trying to
taking it
take
for
advantage
granted.
of it. Yeah,
He's
he's
not
taking
taking it for
advantage.
Yeah, man. Gratitude is a big one. Every day, wake up, try to figure out what to be grateful for, because one day we're not gonna be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. That's unfortunately, yeah. It's
That's
true for
one
everyone.
thing that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I don't want to take away exactly.
You want me to promise?
I don't want to take away from your workout, my man. I kept you long enough, man. So have a good one. Be safe, and I appreciate you. And know that you always have a spot here on the Fighter's Voice.
Yes, sir. Much love.
All right, remember, Al, hit me up later, man.
All right.
All right, peace.
Go.
The rawness and the realness of the Fighter's Voice platform, man.
You know, he's a good kid, man.
He is.
Just I like to hear that he's being approached by AKA for a welcoming position there to come say, hey, come train with us. That will do very good for him. Like I said, it was just
He's going to see the difference, man.
yeah, he's gonna see the difference. And I'm not. This isn't me saying, oh, Cole doesn't think this about him or his coach or this or that.
Yeah.
This is just I mean. Unless you are currently coaching,
I'm sure.
I'm top tier team.
I'm sure they understand.
I hope so.
This opportunity
Yeah.
to rub shoulders and
trade sweat and that time and
Exactly.
knowledge. Like I mean, he brings them very little in the way of experience and knowledge, but he brings them a body to a mold. He brings them a fighter to improve, because realistically, anybody who's not a star in MMA yet is a potential next star, especially the younger guys. And for them to bring you in and say, look, dude, just bring him in, because he might be the next fucking Khabib. He might be the next DC. He might be the next Josh Thompson.
I know he has more will than most.
Yeah, so it's like when they see that, there's certain things that like guys like Bob Cook and Javier look for in a fighter, and they they're gonna find it. Like you get
Is Zinkin still affiliated with him?
yeah, totally. Yeah, Dwayne's still really good guys with those guys. So, and it's just like, take Josh Thompson, for example. When he was fighting back in the UFC, Strikeforce, Bodog and stuff like that, he had a chip on his fucking shoulder. He gave everyone attitude. He pulled pranks on people. He told people to go fuck themselves. Like, he was a little just punk, and that's why they call him that.
Yeah.
But what guys like Javier and Bob saw in that is like, that is somebody that will always try to outdo themselves and those around them. So when you have other guys that are good at something you're good at,
You want hard workers in your gym, man.
exactly, and that's what that translated to. They felt that attitude of his would translate into work ethic, commitment, and it did. And Josh was one of the better fighters that they've had. So you get a lot of guys that come out of there. So their scouting eye, I guess you could call it, like to see talent, raw talent, and be like, okay, so we can do something.
That's
with
the
this.
equivalent of taking a young boxer and say, hey, let's go work out at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. Let's go work out at Wild Card Gym with Freddie Roach.
Go to the dog pound or something. It's
exactly.
like, no, exactly. So even if he doesn't like destroy the next guy he fights, he's going to win, and he's going to look better doing it. He's going to look more polished. His striking's going to look better. His ground game's going to look better. His cardio will be better. He'll be more confident because it won't be the first for a lot of things. And there is so many firsts to emotionally experience and try to digest and translate and stuff. That's a lot.
I like what he's doing with his energy.
Yeah, he's utilizing it.
Exactly. A lot of people, they'll fall into depression, or they'll quit, or they'll not out. He's out there. He says, hey man, I got one arm. I got to get my stadium on.
Yeah, my legs work.
I mean, you got a chance to be on the Fighter's Voice, which a lot of people want to take. But he said, I'm gonna have to cut this short. Well, let me get my work on.
Yeah, well, it's probably
Very honest fighter.
It's probably getting dark. I mean, he's what, Madera?
No,
Right?
he's Fresno.
Fresno. Okay, so
Yeah.
then like it's definitely getting dark for him
Yeah.
now, because it's already like fucking 6:30. He's probably at like Hoover or something like that. So it's
Yeah.
getting dark. So, but dude, so what do you think about the Lomachenko fight?
You know what, man? As far as what part, the winner or how it played out? There's a lot of factors in it.
I don't think the judging was as accurate as as the fight looked. But I also don't think Lomachenko won it either.
No, okay. Worst case scenario, Lomachenko. I mean, you can say draw on some of the scorecards. I had Teofimo winning by 2 rounds. I had him winning. I had him up 7-5.
That's about because he won
that's
most
because,
of the early rounds.
I've watched enough fights, and you know how to judge them. But one of the judges grotesquely had her scorecard with Lomachenko not winning a single round.
Yeah, that was a
single round.
Yeah, it was like 119 to 110.
I don't even think she
something.
was watching the fight. I think like she was underneath the table and just like moving her hand to see if like maybe she'll get some waves or something.
Now,
or it'll scan and it'll kind of tell her.
Here's how you figure
All
that
jokes
out.
aside, man. I mean, come on, we're talking about a big championship fight. That worries me. That was the only thing that was kind of messing with me. Not because we had a new champion. I knew Teofimo is the future of boxing, and he took on the best. just knowing, what if she was the judging
the deciding factor?
Yes, the trilogy, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
Well, I mean,
it didn't even come down to whoever wins the last round wins the fight, which I thought, okay, this last round is big. We need to score a knockdown or something. But according to her,
I mean,
no, man.
I felt realistically after round 6, 7, I was looking at it going, well, if Lomachenko doesn't drop him and finish him, he's going to lose this fight. Like you can only lose so many rounds before you're unreachable as far as pulling that decision off.
You know what, Cole? It was bad officiating. We had Evan.
What was the 10-second stop?
Evan Korn on, and because he had a headbutt, and it was
10 seconds.
about, let it go.
Yeah, 10 seconds. What the
it
fuck
wasn't
were
a
you
deciding
doing?
factor.
Yeah,
both men were flowing. They were both momentum.
There was
you
no
had
blood pour.
You just stopped it.
Yeah, dude. I looked at the time left. I'm like, dude,
10 seconds. Come on.
Come on.
I mean, yeah, he's not a timekeeper. That's not his job. But you know, a lot of people, and I'll keep it real, they'll hide behind that. You know exactly what's coming. Okay, you got that awareness, and yeah, it is to protect the fighter. He was the one winning. He had the momentum with the cut.
Yeah,
he could have said, "Hey, what are you doing? I had the advantage. I just landed a combo."
Like close to a minute left or more, maybe. Stop it. But
not only that, you're already warm. It's there.
Yeah.
So
it just happened. It just happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. You probably caused more blood damage by stopping the fight right then and there, letting his blood pressure build up.
You know, not that it mattered, but somebody could have scored a knockdown.
Yeah.
They could have, because they were letting him go.
Yeah. There could have been a potential for someone to take a clipping right there. And it's 10 seconds, dude. Now, granted, I would say the timekeeper fucked up on that by not when it hit, because that ref would have known.
Timothy Bradley had mentioned that. I'm going to go back and look at the replay.
Okay,
Timothy Bradley, who was broadcasting, said, "Hey, what about the tap?"
Now, when you do that, do this when you do that. Find out where that female judge was sitting.
Yeah.
And now, once you know where she's sitting, really try to watch and see how much of the fight was right in front of her versus the other judges. Because what she's seeing and that scorecard she made might be based on what she's seeing that these two aren't seeing. So you got to remember that too. When you got two judges that have very similar scorecards and they were on exactly the same distance from the fight versus if the fight was all on her side of the ring.
Okay, you're making some great points. Unfortunately, I mean, I can just say that and say, yeah, you're exactly right, and then tell you off camera.
Tell me now. What the fuck's going on camera?
No, I mean, just she should have excused herself from the fight.
Does she not have enough experience?
No. She had plenty of experience. I mean, you know, just her name. But so politics play a big role in there. Now, she should have excused herself from the fight.
Conflict of interest or something?
Especially if you know a fighter. And I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
Well, that's no fun.
So
bottom line, let's just throw her under the fucking bus. So she had a conflict of interest, and she probably shouldn't have been judging the fight.
Exactly.
And that is a character flaw on her part, and that is something that if I were at Lomachenko's camp, I would at least be bringing up.
Her last name says a lot, man. I mean, her dad used to work for HBO and what have you, and it's just
that's gross.
A lot of politics, man.
That's like the judge being related
but
to
you. But you know what? I'm not gonna let that get in the way or take away from Teofimo Lopez, 23 years old.
And he landed how many fucking strikes?
He was 7-0, not even a world champion. His dad knew when he came into boxing who was the man, who was the shit, and that was Lomachenko. And Teofimo Lopez's dad said, "My son's going to win this title, and then we're going to take on Lomachenko, beat his ass, and then we're going to come here. We're going to come in." And people were just like, "Who is this guy?" I mean, this guy's crazy.
But real robust. Yeah.
He gambled. I mean, came off like Ball, the basketball player, his father, who got him on the Lakers, etc. But everything that he said has come to pass. Every single thing, and the rest is just talent, his will, and his tenacity.
Can you imagine the pressure of having to deliver on your dad's words?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Can you imagine being like, "Hey, all right, so I told these people you're going to fuck all these guys up."
You know what? I'm sure, you know, he deals with that on a daily.
I'm sure on the daily.
He does.
But I don't think Dad would probably say that unless he knew the son had the confidence and ability to back it up.
He knows what he has. He knows his son better than anybody in the sport.
Definitely.
Especially when his will's being tested and he knows what he has in the gas tank and what he's capable of.
Yeah. So what there was didn't he set like a record? Didn't Limo catch like a record or something?
Yeah.
Like most significant strikes or something like that?
Exactly. Just being active, just his combinations, his punch landed and the activity in the rounds. And let me tell you something, that last round, a lot of fighters, you know, like the advice he was giving, hey, we got this fight, just coast. Be smart. Don't run into anything. He didn't listen. He bit down. He never took his foot off the gas pedal. He continued to try to win every single round. And when Lomachenko had success by landing those big shots, if anything, he looked more surprised than hurt, to be honest with you.
That he lost?
No. I'm talking about when Lomachenko was landing his big shots.
Yeah, that he wasn't hurting
Teofimo
him.
Lopez, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, there was. I saw the same thing you were talking about, where there was more of a like,
Okay,
I should have backed you up at least. Like, what the fuck? Why did
Yeah.
you just eat that? So I can understand that, but man, I definitely would never. I can understand Limo's not wanting to listen to the corner on that, because you never know.
No,
dude.
that was Teofimo not wanting to
Teofimo's-
listen to him.
the
Yeah,
corner-
he wanted to make sure.
They could
Okay,
be
that's
wrong.
not my game plan. My game plan is I'm going to finish the fight.
Yeah.
This is what got me here.
I don't try to finish and I lose a decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, Oscar
You know
De La
what I
Hoya,
mean?
Oscar De La Hoya listened to his trainer and he coasted the last round. He cost him against Felix Trinidad. Tommy the Hitman Hearns, he didn't listen to his corner and try to coast, and it cost him. Got a draw with Sugar Ray Leonard, which the whole world know that Tommy Hearns won the fight. So he wasn't going to be a statistic of another bad judging, or he just took the fight in his own hands, literally.
Or his mentality is just, I'm going to try to finish you round 1, round 12. Like, if I win, I win.
You know what? When I've interviewed him a couple times. He's always been so honest, so respectful, especially when I bring up possible showdown with Jose Ramirez. Has nothing but great things to say about him. He said, he comes to fight. He's a tough fighter. He's Mexican. They come forward. Oh, I would love to fight him. Be a great fight. Now that he's the champion, now that he has a platform, he's letting everybody know. He's exposing everybody and saying, hey, no. I'm the man now. This is the way it's going to be. But he's earned that platform. He's earned that opportunity. And you know what, Cole? People are listening to him.
Well, he just picked up, 4 belts?
4 bouts.
In one fight, right? So
Made
he's got
history.
5 or 4 now?
He has 4.
has 4.
Counting 5 if you want to give him the ringside bout. Or
But,
what they
so he
call
had-
now is the WBC. There's so many titles now.
Yeah, no, I've
But-
seen that happen before.
I mean,
too.
there's so many titles on titles, so I lose track of them.
So it was
I
his
just
1
go
plus
by
the 3.
He got the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO, and acknowledged by the Ring magazine.
Okay, so the 4 ones that are actually
4.
acknowledged by the rest of the boxing
4.
world.
4 that he pays boxing sanction fees on. So we'll just say
Dude,
that.
that's another thing too. Like, you got to pay to keep your championship belt.
You know what? A lot of people they'll disagree, but negotiate the price, man. I mean, don't take the fighter's check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because he's representing your. I want you to wear my brand, but you're going to pay me to wear my brand.
Now,
but your brand is going to put money in your pocket.
Now imagine if the UFC did that. Imagine if Bellator did that. Imagine if they told Khabib, you have to pay us to be champion.
That's part of the reason why when Canelo moved up to a light heavyweight, won the bout, he vacated it. I don't need the belt. I have the name. I am the brand.
I don't want to pay for a belt I'm not going to have.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to defend. That was a one-time thing going up to 175.
Yeah. He's like, this is my last. This was just a super fight kind of thing. I'm not going to pay to keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, but what's the point of charging them to keep their belts?
You know what? That's the whole controversy. And there's an interview about another podcast, and they had the legendary Suleiman on there, and they were going back and forth. I'm going to tune into that interview, and I want to.
So what happens?
I want to hear.
What happens if a
what's going down.
Canelo or a Ramirez or a Hooker or a Fury?
Yeah.
Told him, go fuck yourself.
Well, Fury has. He gave his belts up before.
I'm keeping the belt.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to pay you to keep the belt. Come get.
I mean, that's
you know
that's where you get the title, the People's Champion. And somebody like Fury, Canelo, they don't need a bout to show. I mean, they're the brand already. They're doing the bout a favor. The WBC's. Like, they're happy this is the champion.
because it brings their promotion
The WBO
notoriety.
is happy this is the champion. The IBF is happy this is the champion. The WBA is happy this is the champion. It's like Nike, that athlete is wearing my gear.
Yeah.
Or Adidas, hey, that soccer player is wearing my gear.
But you don't have to pay Nike to be a sponsored fighter.
Exactly. So it goes both ways. So if there is going to be a fee, negotiate that, man. Don't take
But should
a
you
certain
have to?
amount.
Should you have to as a fighter though? Should I have to negotiate in my contract?
I understand where a governing body has to stay in existence to keep the lights on, so to speak. But you don't need to keep the lights on inside of a mansion. Just keep it on in your house.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about you got different champions from every day, different weight divisions. There's a lot of light in your house. So let's not take them to the bank, so to speak. If you want to have them pay these sanctioning fees, which I understand, but the amount I don't understand.
Imagine if MMA promoters did that. Now them having to
That
pay
is
that
why
fee.
people say there's too many bouts. Why? Because every bout is freaking money.
Exactly. Yeah,
Riddick Bowe had a heavyweight bout on a certain brand, and I'm not going to say these now but he put it in the garbage can. No, I'm not going to pay your fees.
That could be a good sponsorship angle. Hey, pay my sponsoring fee for the belt. Pay my whatever
That
fee
could
it
be
is to
too.
keep the belt. But at the same time, it's
a
like
fighter, long as he doesn't see money coming out of his pocket and his manager did a great job, he'll wear the belt proudly. But I don't want to have a certain belt around me of a year's fee is costing me a home or a car or I'm not making money off it. You know, so
I don't know, man. I think if Canelo told like, let's take the lawsuit out of the equation, because realistically right now, if he told them go fuck themselves, they'd be like, cool, fucking see ya right now, because they're probably super pissed at him. But let's take that out of the equation. If he were to say, I'm not going to pay you, take the belt, they would have to publicly take the belt and explain to the boxing community why we're taking the belt. He didn't pay us. The fucking boxing community would eat them alive.
They do, and a lot of fighters, they know exactly what's going on. I mean, the fighters, I mean, if they were to walk out and have a union, but, you know, there's a small window. It's the boxing game. It's the fighting game, and don't want to get too deep into it, but it is what it is, man. I mean, that's why you have a lot of bouts.
Is there a boxers union?
Well, no, there's not, but
okay,
they need to.
Then there'll never be an MMA union.
They need to.
There'll never be an MMA union then.
They need to. I know Jerry Cooney and Larry Holmes, they were trying to do something as far as like something after a boxer's life, because you know how they go, you know, a lot of headshots and what have you, opportunity and what have you. Yes.
Post-fight career care,
Yes.
And a lot of them have it.
Exactly. But my point was, the sanctioning fees, man. And not only that, they tell you who to fight, because for the IBF, my rankings are different. Now, you're mandatory. You want to fight fighter A, but your mandatory says you got to fight fighter C.
Well, so you got to get from C to A. Yeah, I got to fight C first.
But I want to fight A because A is the money fight.
Yeah, but now I bet you there's like your Pacquiao's.
They'll strip you from the belt. They'll strip the belt away from you.
But they'll have to. I mean, if your name matters, though,
exactly.
I think it's harder. So like your Canelo's probably doesn't even pay the fee. Your Pacquiao's probably doesn't even pay the fee. Like your big name guys.
Every fighter pays it, but the manager probably works something out where, I mean, I don't know. If it bugs them personally, knowing that they have to pay. Because the bout, again, is opportunity. Because you're a title holder now. You know, if I'm going to sign a big contract with Pepsi or Budweiser or Corona, I want the champion. Who is he? I don't care. I just want the champion. So that bout alone can get you where you need to be. It's a two-edged sword, man. It really is. But I understand when fighters say, no, I don't need the belt. I'm the brand.
It can help you, but it hurts you too, because you got to pay to keep it, to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still, I don't think that'd fly in MMA. I think if they told like Khabib, you got to pay us a percentage of your purse to hold the title, he'd be like, okay, you keep your shiny watch. You know what I mean?
Well, now there's more controversy, and then we're going to move on from this. Is now it's been said, it's surfaced that going into this fight, Lomachenko was hurt, so he just had surgery yesterday on his shoulder. So it didn't come out of his words. He didn't publicly make a statement, and two, it's been you know.
I've never understood why fighters bother even disclosing. Like, if you didn't get hurt in the fight, fucking keep it to yourself.
Just don't even. I mean, just go ahead, have your surgery.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know if you. Okay, I suffered.
I feel like I fucked it a little bit in the fight. Like second round, my shoulder felt wrong. I got to look at.
I mean, you know, not to get off subject. Did Al say going in the fight my arm was hurting? No.
Going into the fight, my weight cut hurt.
Don't even do it.
Like, I've never,
because you're taking away from everybody. You're taking
away from the win. You're taking away from credibility.
I do give him credit though, because I mean the man moved up 2 weights. He dared himself to be great, and that was Lomachenko. He moved up 2 weight classes to take on the bigger man.
I don't know if dared would have been the word I would have used. I would have been financially benefited would have been the word I would use there.
But he took on the big dog. He took on, and you can see the distance that he was giving.
What's the weight difference?
Oh, no. Well, he's originally a 126-pounder. So he moved up to 130, yes.
Okay.
And moved up to 135s to take on a naturally 130. Okay. I've said it numerous times, and he is a big 135-pounder, Teofimo Lopez. When you see him, KP, we've interviewed him plenty of times. We've seen him walking around. He's a big kid, big shoulders, big back.
Probably 40, 55-pound walker.
Yeah, he walks around. That's the way he walks around.
Yeah.
So for him to come down to weight, and you can see the difference in the size. But you know what? I'm not going to say, because that's taken away from his victory. But I do give respect to Lomachenko for accepting the challenge, fighting the bigger man. And you know, it's boxing. I mean, he has a great career ahead of him. I mean, I can see him fighting at 130s, which is going to be more of his natural weight against Shakur Stevenson, because there's going to be a vacated bout pretty soon. Or because I know Shakur is the mandatory for the WBO, is one of our outstanding supporters here, and Jamal Herring. So you know, we're going to see what's going to go on there, because Jamal Herring's signed with MTK, and he's going to be going overseas and fighting Frampton. So there's a lot of things that are in place. Lomachenko's going to be fine. He just needs to get over his injury.
Yeah.
And some people are talking rematch. If it doesn't happen right away, it's not ever going to happen. It is what it is. Teofimo Lopez wants to move away from that. He goes, rematch for what? I already beat him.
Yeah.
He wants to move on to bigger and better
things. I saw something that said that they had an exclusive no rematch clause.
There's
it was a winner-take-all type
none.
Contract.
Listen, there's none. In the sport of boxing, sometimes the fighter that people are rooting for doesn't always win. But in this case, Teofimo Lopez, his victory is great for boxing. It is awesome for boxing because now he's going to move up to 140, which Robert Garcia, he already knew what was going on. He tipped his hat a little bit and says it opens up the opportunity for our fighters. When he means our fighters, he means his brother, Mikey Garcia, who can fight him. Great opportunity. Jose Ramirez can now fight him. Great opportunity for both these men. He has a lot of fighters in that stable that can share the ring with Teofimo Lopez. Now,
the weight class move.
Exactly, because we'll say Lomachenko, if he would have won, he would have went back down. It was just one time fight. Move, yeah, and
it was a super fight.
Exactly. There you go. Now you understand. I'll put it in MMA terms.
Yeah,
super fight.
It was a super fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Which this is why I said I wouldn't have mentioned the injury. I would have said, fuck, dude. I'm like Conor moved up to the Diaz fight and got his ass kicked the first time because he moved up.
Yeah, he just moved up just by saying, I'm in the middle of a camp, I'm going to move up. But the second time, he at least put the weight on differently and put it on right.
He looked way better. And then the Cerrone fight, way better. So if I would fight with Lomachenko, I would just be like, dude, I moved up like 15 fucking pounds. Dude was bigger and better. That's all there was to it. Give me my fucking paycheck. I'll go back. I'm going to go fuck up the next dude at 25. Also, I'm still the man at these weight classes. Like, I went up.
That's like when they call Cerrone and he says, at what weight? He goes, because I can do heavy right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because,
do I need to cut weight? Because I don't need to.
Yeah, how much time? What weight class?
Dude, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when the next one they're going to offer him is going to be. Like, I'd be curious to see how that conversation with Dana went. I'd like to hear.
And I did get I'll say this and I'll move off the subject. I did get a text that evening and from someone that knows somebody that knows somebody. It said, look, get ready because fun's about to, something to the effect like, get ready because it's about to get fun.
Okay.
And knowing that him being the champion is great for boxing.
Okay.
It excites everything.
Well, it makes the opportunity, like they said, for more super fights within those weight classes. There's so much interchangeable characters now.
It does. And you know what? My last time that I talked about the scoring, because there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. I'm not going to do that because that takes away from the performance of Teofimo Lopez, which is our new 135-pound kingpin, man. I mean, undisputed, undefeated.
What's he at, 19-0 now?
19-0, man. 19. Look at him. That's a great picture right there.
That's a lot of
the
fucking
lightweight
belts,
king. Look at that. And he's not. Wait till these endorsements come in.
Oh,
Wait till these endorsements come in.
Right.
His dad's probably saying, okay, everybody that been with us, okay, it's now double.
Well, yes and no.
Not quite that. But
he probably said, hey, when new guys, here's the new contracts.
Yes.
Old guys,
yes.
You've got 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
can you match this?
This might have been the last fight on their contract.
Because I'm talking to Nike, and they just want Teofimo to just do it.
Yeah, no.
you know what I mean?
I imagine, yeah. But I mean, look at it this way. There's lots of body parts to pimp out. Nike could be your official shoe sponsor. Adidas does this. Reebok does that, whatever. But like the opportunities have just skyrocketed. I'm sure he's got more voicemails than he can answer right now as far as people wanting to get on board with Limo and do all that.
We'll say this, and I was going to make a joke out of it, and I don't because I don't want to get blown out of proportion. He did an interview, right? And he's at his house, and you see just like a room, like a bedroom, because that's the way he is. You see a regular bedroom. Do that interview in 6 months and let me know what you see. And let me know what you see in the background. Well, you're not going to see that same room.
Maybe. It depends on who's managing his money.
Well, maybe you'll see the pets in there.
You might see a big-ass fucking TV on that wall in the bedroom.
No, you're going to see some different things in the background.
You have to a little bit for the simple fact that, okay, I was watching Moneyball the other day, and the scouts were, trust me, I'll circle back to why I'm bringing this up. The scouts were saying, oh, he's great arm, but his girlfriend's ugly. And they were like, why? And they're like, ugly girlfriend, no confidence. So the concept of, I'm the man now, I should fucking be living like the man. That will make him feel like the man and be like, I earned this. Now I've got something to fucking keep. I've earned this empire. Now I got to keep it. How do you get hungry? Once you're the king, how do you stay hungry?
Yeah.
Winning with chasing the fucking elk is all. It's all of it. Chasing the elk. And then you get it. Well, what now? All you do is eat it, but then what?
I like your point.
The next elk. You got to keep the next elk, or the next lion's trying to take your elk, or your lion is. Having that pad now, I see it. You got to spend that fucking money to appreciate what you've earned. Now you got to protect it.
That is a great illustration, which goes with, this is what I've been telling people. He's been obsessed with fighting Lomachenko. I'm curious to see how he reacts. And I was talking to a Hall of Famer, how he reacts his next fight, because Riddick Bowe painted a Picasso when he fought Holyfield the very first time. That was the best, and one time only that we saw that Riddick Bowe.
Where do you go from there?
He needs to put in his mindset every fighter is Lomachenko, because that's what got him to exactly where he's at. I mean, that high of a level, that focus, and not take anybody for granted.
That's a hard, when you set that bar so high, you caught the car, now what?
When I was coaching baseball, it's very dangerous once your player hits a home run. Very dangerous. I'm always looking at, okay, what's he going to do his second time up to bat or his third time? I'm watching his hands, his feet. Is he pulling his head? Is he swinging for the fences now because he hit a home run? But he sits back, throws his hands out
Reads
there.
the pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, read each pitch. Not trying to hit a home run just because you did.
Exactly.
Read the pitch.
But him being in charge, the only ones that he's called out are the big names. He called every single big name out in that division.
Yeah.
When he said, I want the winner of Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, he said, I want Tank Davis. He went on and on of King Ryan Garcia. I mean, he named them all. I
mean, it sounds like he's, okay, maybe he just goes, I want Lomachenko. I'm going. I want that elk with that white spot. Yeah. Okay, I got that elk. Now I want that one with that brown fucking spot. I want that elk now. That's what I think he's going to do, is he's going to treat the next Ramirez, the next whatever, like Lomachenko.
He wants the winner because the winner has all 4 belts. He said the first time in history you're going to have he wants to hold all belts in both weight classes.
Yeah.
Now I have all 4 belts at 135s. I want all 4 belts at 140s.
Yeah, why not?
Promoter manager Rick Merigian, he put something in social media today like, different guys, man, different weight classes. These are big boys, and he's going to protect his fighter, and I acknowledge that and I respect that. I mean, but these guys, again, dare yourself to be great.
Here's my question.
Yeah,
don't get mad, Rick. Here's my question.
Yeah,
did Rick say that before or after Teofimo said something? Did he say he's coming after Ramirez?
Teofimo has always mentioned Ramirez. It's always been in his mindset, I want to move up to 140. In all due respect, just the way Jose Ramirez said, I eventually want to move up to 147. Now, Rick, he actually lost. He was pulling for Lomachenko, but Rick manned up and said, hey, I pulled for Lomachenko. It didn't happen. I ate my words. I'm quiet. It is what it is. This is boxing. Not taking anything away from anybody else. But
I was trying to piece it, because when you do that, when you go out there like that without it being instigated, it almost looks like maybe you guys are scared of Teofimo.
No, well, see, the thing about it is Rick always has a plan A, B, and C.
Well, yeah, I know.
And right now, I mean, they're not even going to even think about that. Jose has a big opportunity on the table. They're negotiating as we speak, and that's to unify.
Well, everybody's about to benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it's great for boxing.
I'm sure it's a long ball plan, like a long game plan. And one of the pieces just fell into place.
And I'll say it for the record, he still has to beat Josh Taylor. But if and when Jose Ramirez and Teofimo share the ring, you are talking about major freaking fireworks, my man.
Just based on the way boxing works, if he wins against Taylor, could you see that being the next fight?
I can see Jose having options now, whereas I want to move up to 147, but there's too much opportunity on this plate.
There's 4 belts at 140.
Exactly. First of all, because a lot of people thought and are suggesting Teofimo's going to move up to 140 right away. I don't see that because he's worked so hard. He deserves to walk back in the ring at 135s with all 4 of them fucking belts
and say, I'm gonna, who wants the first shot at the king? Yeah.
Is there what did Achilles say? Is there anybody else?
Yeah. Is there no one left?
Yeah. Is there no one left? That type of shit. And no one said nothing.
Because has he cleared out his division at that weight yet?
He cleared it out. Yes.
Then
he has all 4.
Now that you're king, let somebody else.
Exactly. You saw the picture.
Let him try.
He said, come and get some. So don't say I never defended it or gave anybody the opportunity. But he only wants the big names.
Defend it once, take a super fight. Defend your shit,
but
take
can
a
you
super
imagine
fight.
you work so hard, so now you get to walk in with all 4 of them motherfuckers around you?
Yeah.
That's some shit. I'm getting goosebumps. That's some Mike Tyson shit.
Probably going to invest in a belt shelf.
So I see the same thing if the winner, Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, before they move up to 147, they'd want to walk in the ring and defend it, the 140 with all 4 belts.
Yeah.
Unless that doesn't mean anything to them.
It'll boil down to where the money is. If the money is on an immediate move.
I just mentioned the money fight that can possibly take place and just be as big as a heavyweight fight.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
And
With that many belts at play,
Rick's playing fucking Monopoly right now, and he's
playing
going
chess.
and he's going. Well, yeah, chess
Yeah.
too. But he's buying fucking Boardwalk.
Yeah,
With hotels on it. See, Rick bought Boardwalk and he tried to put hotels on it, and they said, "Nah, motherfucker, you don't got Park Place yet. You got to own them both before you could put."
But I happen to own Boardwalk.
Yeah, and they're asking him, "Are you the shoe, the dog, or the car?" I'm all three.
I'm the motherfucker owning the
I'm the
Boardwalk.
shark. I'm the shark.
Yeah, right?
I'm the fucking shark.
Dude, I'm telling you. No, I know he's got a long game plan, but it's just.
But I do want to say this, and I've been wanting to say this about Rick too, because we were talking about the movie. What is it? And I use that illustration of, gosh, what's that movie where they're investigating her, man, and she kind of she's wearing a skirt and she kind of opens her legs a little bit, but she didn't talk. Basic Instinct, yeah. She didn't talk. Well, Rick would have made her talk, right? And then I'm thinking, Rick would have made her talk, and Rick would have actually had the devil with maybe one foot in heaven, like, should I repent and quit sinning?
Should I? No, it's too fun.
I can't. Rick's like, man, I almost had his ass.
It's too fun.
If there's anybody that's going to get the devil close to repenting, it's fucking Rick.
Yeah.
It is.
Master
He just signed
negotiation.
another fighter today. Him and, congratulations, him and Flores, Gabriel Flores Jr. Business is business. You see, they went their separate ways on different deals, but when it comes to business, and to have these two assassins on the same team, two guys that with a mouthpiece that don't sleep, that don't rest, that are constantly grinding to make those deals, yeah. They're working together,
With the
which
right
is
product.
good. It's good for boxing.
You got to have a good product, though.
Well, yeah.
Rick only attaches himself to good product.
Exactly. So I respect the fighters that he has around him. He sees something in them.
Well,
You may not see it today, but you're going to see it tomorrow.
He sees it because he's been around long enough to know what he's looking for.
He doesn't throw money away, man.
Fuck no.
He doesn't.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. And if he did, it's to get you on this one. He knows what he's doing, man.
I'll take a loss here to gain 5 times that on this deal.
Yeah.
Long ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it has to be in that sport. Well, not that sport, but that position of the industry that he's in. Like, it has to be long ball. If you play short game, you're gonna.
When we talk about this area right here and how the monopoly, the chess works here, this is just one little area. You got different areas of the whole world,
and this is just a finite.
There's different
understanding.
people who proclaim themselves to be the Rick, the Floras, and etc. all over the world, man. So,
of course, yeah, you're gonna find a Rick in the UK. You're gonna find a Rick in Australia. They're all gonna claim to be the better promoter.
Exactly, man. But no, man. As far as where Al's at, I wish him well. Al's in a good place, man. He just needs
really
to.
Good place.
Yeah, he's in a great place, especially now that he's reaching out. Nutritionists, they're going to talk. But like you said, that was great advice.
There's lots of pieces to the puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
by putting together a great team. You're now a professional fighting on the highest platform in the world. You want to surround your circle and your bubble with the right keys to the puzzle to be successful.
Yeah, exactly, and that's he's doing it. Like I said, I just want to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to talk
his
to him
ear a little bit.
No, it is.
Before we take off, Anderson Silva says that I think the Uriah Hall fight's his next one. That's going to be it.
His last one.
That's going to be his last ride. Like he said, officially, that's going to be my retirement fight.
I can see that. And before we go, I cut you off before you could pick a winner.
Gaethje G.
By KO?
Gaethje G by finish. I don't think he'll sub him. I think he'll get in a good position or he'll hurt him and the ref will end up stopping the fight. I don't think everyone's really thinking about how fucking intricate Khabib's dad was to his overall success. Everyone's like, oh, you can give him the good game plan. The guy still has to execute it. Yes. But to know, I'm telling you, there's going to be a point backstage in the room, on the walkout, past the curtain, once you hit the cage, once the ref looks at you, there's going to be a fucking point, dude, at that fight where he goes for dad and dad's not going to fucking be there.
Exactly.
And it's going to throw his rhythm off.
Exactly.
I might be wrong.
No. I mean, what you say makes sense.
But I just think that this was a bad loss for a guy in that position. It's
going to be, what did Al say today? It was a lot of emotions.
It was.
There's going to be a lot of emotions going into this fight this Saturday.
There's going to be
win, lose, or draw. He's going to have his time when his alone time, and he's a human being.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if there's any pre-fight rituals that they did that we're not aware of, conversations they would have that we're not aware of, there's just, like, if his dad's in his ear all the way out walking.
Can you imagine that phone call? Okay, son, where are we at in camp right now?
Yeah.
Where are we at? How are things
Dad
going?
would be there.
Exactly.
Dad would be there at camp. So it's like, I know he's a professional. I know it's high grade level and shit, but just, you'd be surprised, man. The quarterback's girlfriend broke up with him yesterday.
Shit.
I ain't betting on that fucking team.
No, you're not.
He's not going to throw with confidence.
No.
He's going to be thinking about, why did she Is she fucking seeing someone else? Boom, you know? Like, his name's not gonna be
I had
in
a
it.
childhood friend, we'll go. His name was Andrew Moreno, man. And we could always tell, we played baseball, and we could always tell when he got in an argument with Stacy. And people would say, Andrew, come on, man, get your head out of your ass,
Yeah.
bro. We got a game. And he was all we thought with his head down.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I go, he's fucked,
Unfocused.
bro.
Unfocused.
I go, serious, bro.
Yeah.
He is. He don't even care anymore. Look at him, man.
We'll find out Saturday, but I got Gaethje on this one. I think he's really good. First off, I think he's talented striker. I think he has the wrestling to counter Khabib's pin you down moves. I just think he's going to be the guy with the right tools.
He's very honest. He said, because if I'm up against the fence, I'm fucked.
Yeah, he knows.
That's what he said. He said that.
He knows he's in a bad spot.
Yeah,
it's a bad spot to be. It's really bad because that's Khabib's bread and water.
Yeah.
Is get you up against the cage, make you carry his weight, drag you down slowly, just grind you down, and then beat you.
There
and
you
just
go.
beat you, talk you out of your fight, break your will, break your confidence. You know, so Gaethje, I think, is good enough to avoid that. I think he's got the good anti-wrestling skills, and I just think mentally Khabib's going to be at a disadvantage.
What round do you think?
Maybe like round 3 when Khabib starts to get tired,
Round 3?
starts guessing himself. You know, when you start to get that first wind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That first setting of, okay, what are we going to change because this isn't working?
You know what? Okay. Yeah, no, I hear you. Last night I said, hey, thank you. 'Cause we had over 1,000 followers. Well, I lost 8 today. What the fuck's up with that? It's okay, though. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
You got
followers.
spies.
Yeah, exactly. You do. But I'll tell you what. Next Tuesday, we're going to have with us, who's on the undercard, Arnold Barboza Jr., who's in line for that 140-pound strap. He's making himself the mandatory challenger for the winner of Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. And then Wednesday from Combate Americas, which I got the Wednesdays flip-flopped, we have Tony Padilla. So we get to pick his brain Wednesday.
Cool.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. Anything else for me, John?
That's it, man. There's not much going on in MMA news. That, like I said, the Khabib fight might have passed a lot of people by because it's just they're promoting it, but it's like Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, I saw him barely starting it yesterday as far as like Sure Dogs, things like that. It's like, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got kind of overlooked, I guess. But,
I think it might have.
yeah. So I want to thank our guest once again, BigAl Gonzales, who's training as we speak, man. And, once we get back to the norm, I don't really like to use that phrase, norm, but I want to have Al in studio along with his trainer, man, and make it happen. Hey, this is Rich Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice, co-ESCOVEDO, the coach with the most, UFC veteran himself. Rich Ortiz here, Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember.
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.
Hey everybody, obviously you know what time it is. Oh, check you out. You got a new background and everything. Woo-wee. You must have got paid this week.
No,
Anyway,
pay
so
with
everybody,
knowledge.
you know what night it is when you see the faces of the Miller Boys. It's Wednesday night, and it's time to be in touch with the Miller Boys, your weekly talk show where we discuss and share our intimate thoughts about all things impacting the African American community of the city of Fresno. And I am always joined on a weekly basis by my darling older brother with a Superman shirt on. And hey, what is your background? What is that?
It is a fist with all the names of these people that have been killed by the police
Nationally?
nationally.
Okay, cool.
I stole it from somebody. Oh well.
That's the actual background. That's not a virtual thing, right?
No, it's a virtual.
Oh,
I don't know why it popped up, but I like it and I'm gonna leave it
I'm
for tonight.
I'm gonna have to look for that one because I got my Black Lives Matters up tonight. But
I'll send it to you.
Please do. So anyway,
see Breonna Taylor right there. Breonna Taylor.
I was seeing Ahmaud Arbery. I see some.
Yeah, there you go. Now we in the same block, hitting home runs.
Peter Gaines. I don't know who that is. I haven't heard that name. But anyway, we're going to talk about that a little bit, but on a local scale as we get going through this. But before I go any further, I want to talk about voting real quick, please. We are absolutely in the throes of voting. In California, if you have not received your ballot, you need to contact your local county elections office and ask them where your ballot is. Because remember, in California, everybody's ballot was mailed to them at their house, and then there's 3 ways for you to return it. You can complete it, put it in a U.S. mail. It takes about 4 or 5 days. You can put it in one of your county's official drop boxes. And when I say official, and I'm stressing that, the official drop boxes are listed inside of, are listed inside of the information that comes to you with your ballot. The county will have included in there where your vote centers will be, as well as where your drop boxes are. Please don't go to any of these bootleg drop boxes. It's not listed on the information that's inside of your envelope.
That's right. The stuff will be in a fire somewhere.
It'll be in the river or something like that. So there are official drop boxes in California. Please contact your county office or use the information that comes with your ballot to make sure you get it sent to the right place. And then the third way is to wait for your vote centers to open. Here in Fresno County, vote centers will not be open until Halloween, which is October 31st. So it'll be open the 31st, 1st, and 2nd from 8 to 5 or from 9 to 6. And then on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd, they'll be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. So those are the ways that you can return your ballots. If you have questions or concerns, you can go to voterstatus.sos.ca.gov, and that will tell you your voter's status for anybody in the state of California. Again, that's voter status, status.sos.ca.gov. That takes you to the California Secretary of State's office. And it's a pretty slick. In California, we're very blessed and very fortunate. I turned my ballot in, dropped it off at a drop box on Monday, and I got a text message and an email back on Tuesday telling me that they had received my ballot. And so I know it works. Yeah, it was a one-day turnaround. I know that a couple people put it in the mail, and it's taken them 3, 4, 5 days to get that text message or notification back. But we've been putting it in the mail. They've gotten a receipt, an electronic receipt back.
Is that exclusive to Fresno County?
I don't believe so. I believe all the counties have the ability to do that. But I know in Fresno County, if you put it in the mail, it's going to take anywhere from 3 to 5 days for you to get a receipt back. If you put it in the drop boxes, official drop boxes, which they pick up every night, you'll get it back. You'll get a notification back the next day. So it's real, and we're engaged in voting. On a national scene, they're saying that states that are doing early voting, all of them are breaking records as far as the amount of early ballots that they've been returning and receiving.
And the other side of the ledger, the Republicans are scared because I heard on 2 different conservative stations today that they're being outpaced as it is right now in early voting by the Democrats.
Right, 2 to 1.
Which is a clear indication that somebody tired of Donald Trump. But we're gonna get to Obama.
Well, I mean, but remember, I'm gonna be devil's advocate for just a second. All that means is that the ballots that they receive is from registered Democrats. Doesn't mean that the Democrat voted for Biden. They could have voted for Trump. And just the opposite way.
Hey, I'll take the strawberries when I get them.
I got you. But the other side of it is that even with the Republicans, early ballots that are coming in, doesn't mean that Republicans are voting for Trump. They could have voted for Biden. So although it's a 2 to 1, although it's a 2 to 1 ratio of return ballots, it has no indication, really true indication of who they're voting for. Although I am predicting that Donald Trump is going to get smoked in this election. I'm predicting that it's going to be 58, 59 Biden, 45, 44, 45 for Trump, which is in political rhetoric, that's an ass whooping. If it's outside of 3 or 4 points, it's an ass whooping. And so he thought he can claim fraud and all that other kind of stuff he wants to. But I think he's just going to be kicking rocks in this case. But the other factor is that it's going to get interesting. What's going to happen? I still think that we get ready to see a political Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. Remember that fight when Vander was putting it on him for the first time ever? What Mike Tyson did, he reached out when he got in the clinch, he bit his ear off, bit him not once but twice.
Okay.
I think Trump is going to be doing some ear biting. Now, what that means in the political realm, I don't know, but I just think that he's a caged animal. He's not used to not having his way. And I think that there's going to be some negative outcomes that's going to happen when he gets.
He gonna be in rare form tomorrow night, and he gonna act ooh and fool.
Yeah,
they gonna cut his mic off. He might walk off the stage.
Agree. You heard what he did with Diane Sawyer, right?
No.
So they did he was supposed to he was interviewed this week. He and Pence was interviewed this week by Diane. I think it was Diane Sawyer for 60 Minutes. You know, the Sunday show, 60 Minutes. She was doing an interview with him that he abruptly, after 45 minutes, got up and left Pence there. And supposedly Diane Sawyer was asking him a bunch of, she asking him about the coronavirus, and he wanted to talk about chili beans, and she kept bringing him back and pressing him on the questions. He finally said, enough is enough. I'm the president. I have to take this. He got up and left.
Of course.
A lot of people are saying
he is a punk. That's punk behavior, and he's a punk, and he gonna punk out every time. When it don't go his way, he gonna punk out. So I can't wait to see what he got to say tomorrow, because Obama blistered him today. Obama put him.
I didn't get a chance to see all of it. I heard clips of it. I'm looking forward to going back.
I didn't see it all either. I saw enough. When somebody tell you so sorry, basically, that you blew the economy that I left for you, you couldn't even handle that. Come on now, really? I thought I was the only one to notice that.
I saw a bunch of memes today, and they was like Obama's going in on him. He went straight in on him today. So I'm looking for it. I'm gonna look at some of the clips, hopefully later on tonight, and then I'll listen to some of the reports on it tomorrow. And the thing about it was he was in Philadelphia, which is a Democratic city, and so he was amongst his, the President Obama was amongst his folks, so he could act that, he could be Barack, he could be Barry in front of those folks, and so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with it. But your president's making me out to be a liar. You know that, right?
Who, Barack Obama?
No.
I thought I heard you say
your president 45.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard you say. Your president. That's your president.
Yeah. Because I said I was not watching no more of that BS than presidential debates, because that first one was such an atrocity. But I gotta watch tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to. It's gonna be pure entertainment.
He's making me out to be the biggest liar ever. That's the biggest lie I ever told in my life. Because I am going to either watch it tomorrow, I'm going to listen to it tomorrow. But I gotta witness this, because I think it's going to be Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. It's going to be I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump don't jump over there and lick Biden on the cheek.
He gonna swing. He gonna swing and fall off the little kid heels he got on, break his ankle.
Hey, have the Lincoln Project has been tearing him up. I saw another advertisement that they got out right now. And the Lincoln Project, for those of you who don't know, are the rebelling the rebelling Republicans who got some money, who do not care for Trump. They've been ripping him, and they talking about his physical fitness now. They showed him drinking water with out of a water bottle with two hands, and basically staggering down the runway, getting off, a stage or plane or something. They've been tearing him up, man. And so,
and they need to.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I'm watching tomorrow. And I'm embarrassed to say that, but I am thoroughly expecting and looking forward to the train wreck, the Tyson Holyfield fight tomorrow evening, politically. And so I hate to say that, but hey, you got me.
You asked me something last week, and I did a little research about Ice Cube, and your dad made a comment about Ice Cube, and I think that after what I've seen and heard, I don't think that he's done anything wrong.
He hasn't. I would agree. I don't think he's done anything wrong, and I appreciate what he's attempting to do, but he just ain't in his lane. And he don't understand.
Well, how is he not in his lane?
Because he got played. Donald Trump's camp played him. They used him to get what they thought was going to be a hit, a boost from the African American community, with the curiosity because of the support that the African American community gives Ice Cube. They couldn't give one hill of beans about the project, this platinum plan that he presented to them. All they were looking for was the media hit, the media blitz that they thought was going to come with it.
So how is that playing him though? I don't think that's him being played. He put forth a platinum plan. Some people agree, some people don't agree with it, but all it is a plan to him, because he's trying to tease out who is going to help or put forth something to help the black community, the African American community in the United States. I don't see how that's being played. I understand what you're saying, that they believe that they were going to get a boost or a benefit from that, but I don't think it turned out that way. I think people shunned Ice Cube as well as Donald Trump. I think that the black, I haven't talked to one black person or one African American person who has said Ice Cube has swayed them to vote Republican.
Oh no, not to sway. Yeah, I agree. Now, I have not talked to any African American who said that Ice Cube has swayed them to vote Republican, but I have talked to a few African Americans that said that Ice Cube has sold out.
Right, and I don't think that those folks actually understand politics, basically.
Exactly. That's my point. The Ice Cube does not understand how the political game is played. That's what I mean.
No. The people that you're talking to.
Agree.
Okay.
Ice Cube don't understand politics. He is.
Well, politics is nothing more than you going out doing whatever it is that you're doing. And what I've read is Ice Cube has been in the political game in and around and about L.A. and with Minister Farrakhan and some other folks, and doing those dibbling dabbling. That's the only way you're going to know politics. So I can't agree with that statement. When you say he's gotten played, you say he's gotten played by Donald Trump's camp. I think they tried to play him, but I don't see a problem with him coming up with something that would help black people or African American people, and going and taking it to who is the current president to see what the reaction is going to be.
Ice Cube took a hit by what he did. He took a hit. And that's the part that I'm saying about him getting played, is he took a hit. He got put on blast by what's the black commentator's name that interviewed him? Roland Martin has put him on national TV, and basically he didn't blast him, but he basically questioned, kind of chastised him about what he was doing. He's in the public arena. He was on TMZ and got TMZ kind of cornering him about some of the things he's done. Ice Cube's brand has taken a hit, and it's unfortunate.
Okay, now when you say Ice Cube's brand has taken a hit, let me ask you: are you talking about Ice Cube, the gangster rapper, or are you talking about Ice Cube, the Disney man, saying, "Are we there yet?" Because Ice Cube's fan base.
I'm saying all of it. The Ice Cube brand, all of it. The rapper, the television, all of that stuff. Ice Cube is taking a hit.
If you got 1,000,000 pennies in your pocket, and I take 100 of them, that ain't too much of a hit.
That's a hit, though. I agree with you. It's not a substantial hit, but it is still a hit. And I hate that Ice Cube, the Ice Cube brand, because I'm a supporter of his, is taking a hit.
I don't see it that way.
I got you. You don't have to agree, but I'm just telling you, that's the part that bugs me in this. Because what he did was honorable. There's nothing wrong with what he did. I just believe that there was a better way for him to do what he did. So you know the backstory, right? I shared with you the other day.
Yeah, that's Bannon's partner. I read, and I did go and research and read that.
Okay.
That his business partner in the Big Three is Bannon's partner in a lot of other businesses.
His ex-partner, his former partner, him, Bannon. I forget the guy's name, but anyway, just so that everybody understands what we're talking about.
It's something like Wabalabowski or something.
Yeah. Ice Cube's business partner with the Big Three, the basketball deal that he's got going on right now, is Mr. X. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but Mr. X back in the early 2000s was business partners or was in a business entity partnership with Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon is Donald Trump's ace boon coon strategist #1. So this Ice Cube,
but it used to be, because they're not anymore.
Correct. They're not partners anymore. They're not collaboratives. Ice Cube's business partner is seen as a ultra liberal.
Okay.
That's his politics. The way he gets down is ultra liberal. Steve Bannon is seen as an ultra conservative, although I think he's more of an opportunist. That's what I mean about Ice Cube not understanding the political game. Ice Cube.
I think Ice Cube has let's move on, because we're at odds and we're going.
But it's not about
us.
It's about our community and about our public understanding what it is that we're on different sides of the spectrum from. There is nothing wrong with what Ice Cube did. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with what Ice Cube did, but there is another way that he could have done it where his brand didn't have to take a hit. Donald Trump lost 4 goddamn points because of what he did. The only person who was damaged, the Ice Cube's business partner, Steve Bannon, ain't taking a hit in this exchange. The only person who's taking a hit in this exchange, whether it's 100 pennies or whether it's 1,000,000 pennies, is Ice Cube. That's the part that bothers me.
And he's only taking a hit from the side of the ledger that you're on as an African American. So maybe somebody took 100 pennies from him on the African American side, but we don't know. So maybe he gained another 1,000,000 pennies on the white boy side, on the Republican side. We don't know.
Gerald, you're saying exactly what I'm saying.
No, we're not.
We are saying the exact
we're not.
The exact same thing.
I don't believe.
So do you think that Ice Cube went into this endeavor thinking that he was going to take a hit?
I don't think Ice Cube really gave a fat parrot's booty if he took a hit or not. Ice Cube is in it for the people. Ice Cube is trying to bring a package to his people to see if he could do better. That's where a lot of people are right now with Ice Cube.
Did you do your investigation about the package that he put forth?
The Platinum Plan?
Yeah.
Little, yes.
Okay. Did you notice that the most of the Platinum Plan and most of the elements that he put in the Platinum Plan were already being sought by Republicans and Democratic platforms? I shouldn't say platforms because the Republican side doesn't have a platform. By Donald Trump and the Democratic platform?
No, but
there were many.
There's no idea that's going to be new. I mean, okay. Anyway, all right, Darren. We see the same thing, and you're right. Okay, whatever. What do you think about? What do you think about 50 Cent?
I don't know anything about 50 Cent.
He said he's endorsing Donald Trump, and by the way, Ice Cube never endorsed Donald Trump.
Correct.
50 Cent said he endorsing Donald Trump, and he's going to vote for Donald Trump.
Good.
And black people should vote for Donald Trump. So is that also hurting his brand?
Yes, it will.
And do you think he cares?
No, he's probably trying to protect his money. He is doing a Donald Trump. He's of the Donald. I don't know anything about 50 Cent's story other than what you're telling me right now. But to me, it sounds like 50 Cent is worried about 50 cents. Period.
Right.
I agree with you that Ice Cube was attempting to do something for his people. In particular, he said that he doesn't want his plan has nothing to do with people of color, has nothing to do with minority people. His plan is specifically for blacks are born in America. That's what he says. I have no problem, an issue with that. I just wish that his brand, the Ice Cube brand, did not have to take a hit in order to do what he's doing. And that's what I'm saying. You're saying the same thing. You're just saying it a different way. That Ice Cube should not have. Why are you shaking your head?
Because we're not saying the same thing.
What is your point?
My point is that I don't think Ice Cube is actually taking a hit. I think Ice Cube, if he is taking a hit, don't give two fat rats ass if he does take a hit. I think his motivation was not to try and protect his brand or his money. I think his motivation was to try to actually help his people. I think that Ice Cube has enough money, enough clout, enough power. Ice Cube makes rap songs. Ice Cube is a producer. He makes movies. Ice Cube got more money than you and I will ever see. Ice Cube can give a fat flying cat about what the common poor person thinks. He's trying to do something for his folks.
We're saying the same thing. I know you're going to shake your head. We're saying the same exact thing. I agree with you that what he don't give a shit about him taking a hit. He don't give a shit about how much money he's going to lose. He don't give a shit about what people say and stuff. I got that. What I'm saying is there is another way, another avenue that he could have done exactly what he's doing right now without taking a hit, whether it be 1 penny or 2 million pennies. I don't like the fact that what his intentions is going to have to hit him. He's going to have to lose something because of his intentions. That's what my issue is. So we're saying the same thing. And I know you don't agree. We're saying the same exact thing. Ice Cube's brand should not be hurt or inundated anyway by what he did, because what he did was honorable. What he did is what more people should do. I just hate the fact that he's got to take a hit now, in particular in the African-American community. He's got to take a hit because of what the path that he took to do it. That's all I'm saying. So I have not checked out 50 Cent, but it sounds like 50 Cent ain't no different than Diamond and Silk and them idiot twin brothers that's on social media. And what's that black former deputy sheriff, or the dude with the big thick goatee? What's his name?
I don't know. I know you talk about.
God, I can't think of his name.
You're always wearing a cowboy hat.
Always wearing a cowboy hat. It sounds like 50 Cent ain't doing nothing different than them folks. They don't understand the bigger picture about caring about their African-American brothers and sisters, those black people that are here in this country, and that not all of us are able to prosper. I guess that's not the right word. But America has not been very kind to most black-born Americans. So I just, I got you. Like I said, I just wish that Ice Cube didn't have to take a hit for this. And time will tell and see. But because even Roland Martin, when Roland Martin was talking about his interview with him, he was like, I applaud him for what he's doing. I just don't think he understood the whole dynamics of what's at play. And that's the thing, that's Donald Trump's undoing also. He's a reality television star. He ain't no damn politician. He don't understand how the government works. He thinks that he can do whatever the hell it is he wants to do, like he did on reality TV. That's not how the government works. Politicians are supposed to work for the people. And I agree. I'll be the first to tell you that politicians have gotten away from that over the last 20 or 30 years. And I think that this is going to be the reckoning that's going to realign us to having politicians actually represent people like they're supposed to do. So, talking on a more, let's change the subject to a more local deal. One of the things we talked about on the phone the other day was about black politics in Fresno. And so I looked at some numbers, just some statistical numbers. California is the 5th largest city in California. We're right now at 540,000 people. We're growing since 2010 at about a rate of 7%, 7 point something percent, 7 to 8% every year. And so we are a metropolitan area that is actually expanding, growing. The African American population is 7.61, so just under 8%, which would put us at about 40,000 African American people here in the city of Fresno. So with all of the just numerical statistics, one of the questions that we were talking about the other day was about the black political power in the city of Fresno. And the question that you asked was about, given that we're only 8% of the population, why is it that everybody goes after the black vote? And I believe that it is because of historical values. People who have run and won, been elected to positions of power or positions of public service here, can't win those offices without having the African American vote, although it's even small. I mean, it's only 8%. But also, as you look to some of the things that are happening in the city of Fresno, it is grounded and woven through our black African American population here in the city of Fresno. So I've been pondering on that. I've been looking at some stuff, and I think that's, I guess, at least my take on why a person such as Jerry Dyer, who is the mayor-elect now, will be sworn in January, why he so aggressively went after the African-American vote. It's because he knew that he was not going to become the next mayor if he didn't have the support of the African-American community. We've got lots of different things that are going on right now. So I just thought I would share that with you, just from our conversation the other day on the phone.
Do you think that that the 8% of African Americans, which all are not of voting age, and the understanding that in that 8% you have some of that voting age that are Republicans and Democrats, do you think that the African Americans in Fresno have a united understanding of what is actually best for the community of African Americans? Or are we back to the 50 Cent, what's best for me as an individual?
No, I don't think that it's necessarily, no, to answer your question, I don't think it's either one of those. I think that the African-American community in the city of Fresno looks at things in silos. So if you're a black business person, you are only concerned or very heavily concerned, keenly concerned about what goes on with black business. If you're involved in politics, if you're involved in education, if you're involved in clergy, with church and those type of things, you're keenly focused and concentrating on your particular area in a silo.
That would have the causation to pull you in a separate corner away from everybody else, unless so in essence that's back to 50 Cent saying that I'm going to vote against my individual best interest because I can weather the storm because I got enough money. Well, I'm going to vote I'm going to vote in the interest of the political spectrum of the clergy or of business people. What's best for me, because that's what I can garner a significant status from, or that's going to push me in the direction which I want to be in.
50 Cent is worried about 50 cents. At least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I agree.
Worried about nobody else who's in a silo or any of those type of things. What I'm saying is that people who are in business, so people who are small business owners, people who have you know, these restaurants that are struggling right now, people who have T-shirt shops and those type of folks are going to gravitate around other people who are in their silo, their circle of influence. Educators like myself, we're going to be worried about other educators and people who are in our circle, not our individual selves, but about people who are in our silo, in our particular locale or particular area of interest. That's who we're going to.
In your popular interest group.
Correct.
How many educators are there? Roughly.
I don't know. I know that Fresno Unified has about 4,000 teachers, and they're the biggest. They're the biggest entity around here, but I don't know. I don't know.
And so the collective is, for me, is that you have to sometimes put down your individual silo, and that's what I see that the African American community in Fresno doesn't have. They don't have a collective spirit to where they would come together and do this, that, or the other. I mean, when Jerry Dyer was the chief of police and he was actively going after African Americans and firing them and rejecting them from the police department, and then you have the black newspaper, who I had heard on a national TV talking about how great Fresno is, endorsing him and putting him on the cover of the magazine. That's crap. You know, that's crap. I mean, so that's what I'm talking about. Now you go, not you, but that makes the community, the African American community, believe that it's okay, that type of behavior is okay. And for me, that tells me that particular entity, place, space, or person who does that is either incompetent or has no morals or values or scruples. So
when you say that, what do you mean? The newspaper? Because I can tell you that if you're talking about the California Advocate,
that would be the one.
Basically, you know, Jerry Dyer took a $10,000 ad out with them, a $10,000 purchase out with them in the election cycle to get their endorsement. And so I agree that
so that's classic sellout.
Right. I agree. I hear you, and I agree. And how do we get around?
My question is, how do you advance your understanding as a people, as a total people, when you have the individuals that are in a place of influence selling out?
Well,
you can't do it.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You also on a state level have Alice Huffman, who is the state president for the NAACP, who is on with these propositions, is on the opposite side of each proposition. In particular, Proposition 15, that has to do with schools and community first. That has the opportunity to raise $11 billion annually, and everybody that I know, most African Americans that I know, most educators that I know, most African American social organizations that I belong to and that I'm affiliated with are all saying yeah. But Ms. Hoffman, in her private industry, her private business, is saying no, and putting advertisements out there. And
so that's exactly what I'm saying. Where a person, instead of doing a collective body of work for African Americans, you're going to pick your individuality over the collective or the group and go your own way. You know, people look at me crazy when I tell them that African Americans are schizophrenic, and it's because you have to live in a dual place and a dual space in America. Because a lot of us, you know, like we used to say, you know, code switching and you have to do this to do that and the blah blah blah. And I'm too old and too established to be code switching and telling people this, that, or the other. My personal integrity is like what you were saying about Ice Cube. Gerald Douglas Miller's personal integrity is going to take a hit because I ain't putting up with that shit no more. I am not going
how are you what are you taking a hit for?
For standing up for my personal beliefs, counter to people Yes.
So if you continue to talk about your community, if you continue to talk about law enforcement, if you continue to talk about the black family, you're not going to take a hit. People are going to question you, but you're not going to take a hit. But if you run out there and you start getting into politics, you start going out there and getting into medicine, telling people that
you don't see your everyday life as a politic, as a speech. Your everyday life, your in your background, Black Lives Matter. That's political.
Okay, so Gerald,
your skin, that's political.
So Gerald, you ran track. Now, here, let me see if I can. This is the simplest way I can. When I say lane, I say it as a metaphor. But if you run in a 100-yard dash and you start your race in lane 5, and when you end your race and you're in lane 8, no matter whether you're the first one across the line or the last one across the line, you're going to be disqualified. Correct?
Okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying, all I'm saying is about staying in your lane is whatever your background, whatever your personal interest, whatever your collective, your community around you is, whatever lane that is, when you stay in that lane, you're good. When you get out of that lane is when you get disqualified.
Okay. So your lane is education, but
Correct.
You want to transition into politics. So
no.
Because what you're saying is people should not be able to transverse between one or the other.
That is not what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's exactly
what I'm saying.
Because you're saying you started in lane 5 and you went running down the thing and down the track, and halfway down the track you wanted to change to be a politician. So you jumped into lane 6 and you finished in lane 6. And then you threw your hands up and said, I'm the first politician around. People have the right to change their mind and do whatever they want to do.
I've widened my lane. If Darren Miller goes out there right now and starts telling people about how to do brain surgery and how, this coronavirus, you shouldn't wear a mask or you should wear a mask or this, if I start doing those things, I'm out of my lane. That's not something that I prepared or something that I put effort and energies into. I have put energies and efforts into this political lane that I'm in. So now I'm no longer in just an education lane. My lane is expanded to include education. That's all I'm saying. I haven't crossed over out of my lane. By the way, you know that I'm 0 for 4 in political races, right? So I've not done, as a candidate, I have not done a great job of being in the political lane. Although I continue to work at it. So
what you need to do is stay in the education lane? Because that's what you're saying.
No, I need
that you need to shrink your lane back down because people need to stay in their lane.
I disagree with you. Because what I'm doing is working on widening my lane.
Okay. And in that case, so is Ice Cube. So is
Ice Cube is going to take a hit.
So is LeBron James. And so is the Advocate, the newspaper. So is Gerald Miller. So is everybody else who tries to widen your lane. See, one of the things that African Americans are so afraid of is not being successful. So we come up with these metaphors so that we won't lose. I see that in people's conversations, that they talk in a strategy so that they don't lose. You're gonna lose. Part of losing is a part of learning. That's a part of widening your lane.
Correct.
You can be a politician with a pocket full of money.
We're saying the same thing again.
You like to agree with me, I guess.
No, I mean, whether I like to or not, we're saying the same thing. I'm not going to argue with you for just a sense of arguing. I agree with you. Losing sometimes is your best teacher. When I got my ass kicked in 2010, when I jumped out of my education lane and got into the political lane to run for city council and got my ass humbled, guess what? I was outside of my lane. But now that I've worked on that over the last 10 years, my lane has expanded. And right now, I'm on track with what I'm doing now to win my first political race in 10 years. So that's what I mean about people taking hits. There's nothing wrong with taking a hit. I think maybe that's what it is. You're equating what I said with Ice Cube taking a hit as a negative. I don't see it as a negative. I see it as a learning opportunity. I just wish he did not have to go through this learning opportunity. There was another way, another avenue, another venue, another vehicle that he could have used to go through this and not have to take a hit.
And once again, what I'm saying is maybe he's fine with taking a hit the same way you were fine with taking a hit the first time. So like you say, you were expanding your lane. Maybe this is what he's doing to expand his lane even further from the local politics that he's in to where he is now.
Agreed. I agree with you. Just like in 2010, when I jumped my ass off the couch in December to run for city council in June, there was a different way that I could have gone about that to get into the political realm if I wanted to do that. And I would not have had to take the hit that I took in 2010. I agree with you. So it's not a yin and yang. It's a matter of I just know that Ice Cube, it's unfortunate that he's going to have to that he's going to take the hit he's going to take. It's unfortunate, but I understand. I'm not hating him. I'm not hating him. I just hope that the hit that he takes also does not deter him from doing what it was that he got started. Now, if you don't hear from Ice Cube again in the political realm, this is all for naught. If you don't hear anything else about the Platinum Plan after this election cycle, what Ice Cube did was all for naught. He needs to continuously push that Platinum Plan, whatever is in there, and understand that there's going to be some things that's going to be taken off. There's going to be some things that's added on. But the bottom line is that if you're committed to that Platinum Plan, let's get it to be the best plan possible to be able to move it forward. So I think that Fresno also, one of the things that I'm going to start working on is to develop for lack of a better term, a Platinum Plan for Fresno. Because exactly what you said earlier about us doing things in isolation and us not having a collective model, a collective plan of action for the Black community moving forward, it needs to happen. And I don't think the atmosphere and timing for that politically could be any better than where it is right now. But we've got to be able to get our act together, put away and sacrifice our individual desires in whatever we ultimately come up with to be able to get it right for our community. So educators need to understand that education is only a part of the plan. It's not the only plan. People who are in business need to understand that they're a part of the plan. It's not the only plan. You know, and I believe that there's a mechanism for us to be able to move forward. It's not going to be fast, not going to be quick, but I think that we have enough people here, enough Black people here in the city of Fresno, in different aspects of the city of Fresno, to be able to create something such as that. You know, as much as I dislike that Jerry Dyer is going to be our mayor, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held accountable for everything, whatever is on our list of concerns or demands. The big thing right now, another thing I want to talk about, bring up is that on Friday at 11 o'clock, there is a
community rally.
There's a rally. Thank you. There's a rally in honor of all of the lives that have been lost here in the city of Fresno, not just this year, but over the past few years. We've had a lot of people who've lost to gun violence. And so there's a rally in front of City Hall Friday morning at 11 o'clock where there's going to be some speakers. There's going to be a demonstration so that we could hopefully motivate some folks to come up with a plan of action about how we're going to respond to this rise in violence, street violence that we've had in 2020 and previously. So I think here's another opportunity. But as a Black community, I believe we've got to go in there with a plan. Here's what we want. Not what are you going to do for us, but here is our plan. This is what we want you to do. Teach me how to fish and stop giving me fish. You know, that old proverb about fishing. And so I'm having some conversations with some different folks about things moving forward. And I'm looking forward to what's going to happen, the outcomes is going to come from.
I'm going to try to make it down there Friday morning.
Are you going to be here?
I think it'll be positive. I think that'll be a positive, but all we can do is we'll see. What the outcome is.
Well, we may not see this outcome for the next couple of years.
If nothing else, wear your Fitbit and your tennis shoes so you can make it into an exercise program. Get something positive out of it.
Agreed. So I'm looking at, I don't know if you've been looking at Facebook at all. What's up, Craig Lopez? Thank you for the support.
No, I
What's going on, Miller Boy number 3? See you out there. N.I. Dale, we see you. And yes, 50 Cent said he was going to vote for Donald Trump. Dro said that earlier. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Basically, she's right. She says 50 Cent said he was going to vote for Donald Trump because Biden was raising taxes. So that's a selfish move there.
Yeah.
Big time selfish move.
Yeah, it really is. But, and that's one of the things that Donald Trump is talking about over and over and over, and people are starting to believe in that. But 50 Cent makes over $400,000 a year. So, yeah, he should pay a fair share. That's back to the conversation that me and you had about these, why I don't feel sorry for these NBA players who were basically laid off and not getting paid, Hey, if you have to learn to budget your money. Not everybody is gonna take a class in college or wherever to learn finance and economics. But hey, a lot of folks gonna slide down that pole without them pants on and get them berries all scratched up. I can't feel sorry for you. Can't feel sorry for you.
So again, Friday morning, 11 o'clock, down in front of City Hall. There'll be relaxed parking in the area, from what I'm being told. Please wear your masks. Yes, they're required, not by law. Some asshole with the information that's been sent out to social media, they're requesting that people bring masks. The sign says mask required. Some asshole responded back, not by law. Okay, so it's not required by law.
Hey,
but still,
I'm 2 months removed. For all y'all that didn't catch it the first time I had corona, me and Donald Trump is good like that. I'm immune now. We got what he say? I'm immune. You ain't got to wear your mask around me. I'm good with it.
All right, immune. You know that there's some folks out there in the world who's doubling up on corona, right?
Yeah, but there's 2 different strains running around out here too. Also,
so that means you only got one. There's a second strain out there.
No, I believe I caught the first one back in November of 19 with the coughing and the runny nose and the fever and the body. Yeah, I think that was the first one. Okay. So I'm good, man. Hey, I'm good. I'm God's favorite child. You didn't know that? God's favorite child.
Well, I don't agree with it. Whether I know or not, I don't agree with it.
Agree with what? That I'm God's favorite child?
Correct.
Oh, you're in the wrong.
I believe that your brother is God's favorite child.
Okay.
Anyway, that's another segment.
Hey. Have you, speaking of brothers and not the brotherhood, wink.
I'm going to start bringing that up. I'm going to start asking questions about the brotherhood.
Have you seen the good Lord Bird talk about John Brown?
Yeah.
My God,
I watched episode 1, and I'm in the episode. Actually, I'm gonna watch it when we get done off here tonight. I'm going to sleep to it.
God.
How many episodes are there?
So far, 3 or 4.
So it's going on right now. So I'm in number 2.
Yeah, every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell the folks what it's all about?
It's about John Brown's crazy ass and his revolution. As a Christian man, he don't believe in slavery. He running through Kansas, cutting the heads off of white folks with his little band of merry men, preaching the Lord and the gospel, and said that everybody is a brother through the brotherhood of Jesus Christ. And if you oppose him, he will hem you up.
The only issue is that the little black boy that he rescued after the boy killed his dad, he running around there in a dress, and he ain't playing. And the real part about it is he ain't pretending to be a girl, because he remember he was gonna show old boy the black dude his man parts, and the boy want to see it, but he won't stop wearing the dresses. And so I'm curious as to what that's all about.
Well, it's safer for him to be seen in a feminine. That's a whole nother discussion, but for a whole nother time, and we need an expert. But it's safer to be a feminine in our society, where white male dominance is. The thing is, you can only have one man in the household, and the white male is the one man. So it's safer for him to wear a dress and go along with the ruse that he is a female. And you heard how how John Brown got it mixed up, right?
Right.
In episode 1, he thought his name was Henrietta, but his name is Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. His dad said something about Henry ain't or something like that, and he heard John Brown heard Henrietta.
Yeah.
So the last episode that I saw was when John Brown's big fat son got killed.
With the bird, he put the bird on top of. No, is that the end of one?
Yeah, they put the bird. Yeah, they put the bird on top of him, and then they went back to camp. That was the last. That was the last episode that I recall. So that's where I'm at.
And they told him to stay there, and then no, that's episode 2. There's four episodes there, because wait till he beat Tate. Is it Tate Diggs? No, David Diggs. The guy from Hamilton, the black guy from Oakland. David Diggs. He plays Frederick Douglass.
Oh yeah, I ain't nowhere near that. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's oh yeah, man. So the interesting thing about that is, one of the people who is producing and writing it is the guy from Biker Boys, the guy from the one that was a lawyer in Biker Boys. I can't think of his name. He was in Biker Boys. He was in that movie with the aliens out in the desert. He was in the movie where him and the comedian switched places. Oh man. Well, he's an influencing writer on that show.
I don't know who you're talking about. Desert aliens.
Yeah, it's an old movie where the aliens was popping up out the desert, and they were going through the different stages. No, they were going through the different stages of metamorphosis. Anyway, yeah, okay. But you remember Biker Boys when they got in trouble and he had to go bail him
You're not
out.
talking about Orlando?
Yes, Jones.
Orlando Jones. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a pretty interesting dude. He was on a Talib Kweli's podcast.
He's in this, or he's part of the writing team?
I know he's part of the producing and the writing team, but I haven't seen him in that yet. But he's
Orlando Jones. Yeah.
And he talked about why he got kicked, why he removed himself and did not get kicked off of I think it's called Gods and Men or something, where he gave the speech to the slaves in the bottom of the boat. It's okay, but I don't know all that, but Orlando Jones. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I didn't know he had anything to do with that. Yes.
I know that Ethan Hawke has a bunch. Ethan Hawke, and it must be his brother. There's another Hawke that I've seen on there that's executive producers. Yeah, but I haven't seen Orlando.
Yeah, it's an interesting watch. Did you watch? I know we run out of time, but did you watch Lovecraft Theory or Lovecraft Country? Okay.
I haven't seen that.
All right. Yeah.
I don't have HBO.
And
get to it.
And Chris Rock in Fargo.
I have not seen
that on FX.
I haven't seen that. I can get the FX, but I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's a gangster from Chicago, right, or something like that.
They are. They're not in Chicago. I think they're in
Wisconsin. They're in Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo is
no. It's just called Fargo. They're in I want to say Minneapolis or somewhere, but they're not. They're in a large, one of the odd cities, but yeah, it's pretty interesting because it shows the dynamics of and the new N word on the scene, from the Italians to these
he's a gangster though. He's a mobster though, like from Chicago, right? Chris Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
No. He from the city that he's in. He's running the city that he's in as a gangster in that community, in that city. But it has gone through the different stages of being the Irish, and then it went to the Italians, then it went to and so now the blacks are moving into that scene of being the dominant force in that neighborhood or in that city, and it's the trials and tribulations of, and it's entertaining. You know, I watch TV for entertainment. You know?
Well, Chris Rock just got in this last I don't know what you got, not episode, but last, because Fargo's been on for about what, 4 or 5 years now, right? 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Yes.
So he's just in these last few seasons.
I think that Fargo runs a season of a storyline, and then like it might be, you know, in Fresno. Then the next storyline might be a story. It's called Fargo, but it might be a storyline out of San Jose, and then the next series might be a storyline out of, you know, somewhere else. And
I haven't checked it out, but I'll watch it. I noticed that Chris Rock is making a resurgence. He's in I saw him in a commercial the other day.
Yeah, a divorce will do that to you.
Okay. I noticed that he is a lot more public now than he has been recently.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
no,
all right. We're up against it.
Yes. I was going to say, in closing, Fresno has a long way to go with its African-American community. I believe that Fresno's African-American community needs to trust each other more, needs to rely on each other more, and understand that we are in this space together moving forward. And if we're in the same boat and you poking holes in it, we all gonna sink. And so I think that you know, there's only 8% of us, I think, are, you know, so I you know, all I can do is keep a smile on my face and try to keep moving forward, and hope that for the community of African Americans here.
I totally 200% agree with you. The only unfortunate part about it is that the African American community of Fresno has a long history of our leaders and our leadership organizations of being sold out, bought out, however you want to claim it. And so that's where I think a lot of the distrust and mistrust comes from in the community. And so we've got to be able to overcome that, from politics, from our media presence here, from people who, you know, who are in these heads of these different entities.
Well, my life experiences have taught me that when you're one of a few fish in the pool, the other fish will gang up on you, or when you're one fish in the pool that looks the way you look, the other fish, out of, you know, stupidity, will gang up on you and force you out of your existence. And I think that that we as African Americans are more intelligent than we let on to be, and we need to understand a few things. The true way to get this through people is a legitimate Saturday school to teach us discipline and self reliance, self-awareness, and self-love. And we don't, I'm going to say and make the statement that that's not taught in Fresno. And that's not the dominant thought in Fresno. So
agreed, but it can be.
It can be, but until it is, you know, we're going to keep eating crow. Yeah. And so, yeah. All my October babies out there, happy birthday, you know, John Coffey, Eric Coleman. You know, love you like cooked food, man. Keep living. And you know, everybody, you usually say this, but everybody that's been praying for our parents, appreciate it. You know, I think the word is getting out. Not that we're putting it out there like that, but you know, they're getting up in age and they're having their struggles with health, and you know, keep them in prayers and keep them in encouraging thoughts. You know, and you know, like I always say, love, peace, and hair grease.
Agreed. Our parents are doing well. Mom is she's in a facility right now, doing a rehab and recovery from her major surgeries that she just went through. And so I echo Gerald's sentiments. We appreciate and thank all of the prayers and well wishes and text messages, emails, and phone calls that I'm getting on a regular basis. She's doing fine. Please don't try to reach her. Please don't try to contact her. Because if you reach out, she gonna respond, and she needs to be saving her energy right now to be able to recover from the major surgeries that she's had. And so, Gerald
Miller strong, baby, Miller strong.
Gerald and I will receive and appreciate all of the well wishes and love that you send to our parents as well. Lastly, as I always say, vote, 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 vote. If voting
and if people in Georgia can stand in the line for 10 hours, you can walk your raggedy butt down there and drop your voting ballot in the box in 2 seconds. If
voting wasn't so important, people on the opposite side wouldn't work so hard to take it away from us.
To vote twice.
If voting wasn't that important, if it wasn't so important, people would not invest so much energy and so many, illegitimate processes to keep us from voting. And so please exercise your opportunity to vote. If you need additional help or assistance, you can always contact me, ibedam@gmail.com. You send me an email and I will be able to help you.
Send me an envelope with $100 in it. I'll help you.
No, I don't need no money. You ain't got to pay me.
By
the way,
me.
That leads me to another thing. This Saturday from 10 until 11, I will be at the Kearney Palms Shopping Center on the corner of C and Fresno Streets to help anybody who wants help with their ballot. Again, I will be there from 10 to 11. I was there last Saturday. I'll be there this Saturday from 10 to 11 to help anybody with their ballot who needs help. There's a drop box there. You can either sign your ballot at that particular time and put it in the drop box, or you can give it to me and I'll sign for it one way or another. I am available this Saturday from 10 to 11, Kearney Palms Shopping Center, Fresno and C Street, to help anybody with their ballot. And with that, we will say peace and see you guys all next week, God willing.